Good evening, all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis Cocker, and with me tonight I have Stu Woolley and Mark Langridge on the panel. Tonight we're going to talk about the latest links. Ben Jacobs been out talking about Oliver Glasner of Crystal Palace, and that he would take the job in a heartbeat. We will talk about who might be the next replacement if Amorim gets the sack. There's been some other links with Xavi, and who knows? Everybody's been linked to Man United at the moment when it comes to managers. But Amorim is still here, and we will talk about Amorim too. Wayne Rooney podcast was out, and he says he can't recognize the club anymore. We will talk about the latest Wayne Rooney podcast, and we will also talk about Jamie Carragher, who's been out with his slip again and talking about Man United and that we should play a back four. We will obviously go through the game. You will get Mark Langridge's opinion about the game. We will talk about the penalty situation. Should there have been a red card? Who did perform? Who was better? Did Amorim do wrong with his team selection? And why did we actually lose this game? We will delve through everything in a minute. But guys, girls, if this is your first time, subscribe to Tactical Devils and please smash the like while you wait. We will see you in a second. Boom, 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 everybody. It's Monday night. It's Jarvis's Corner. It's a panel show. It will be a debate. Much to talk about. Much happened this weekend. We ended up losing to Brentford. Who would have thought? Not this guy. But yeah, much to delve into. Big up, guys. Big up, Stu. Big up, Mark. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Had time to reflect. Calm down a little bit. I've been busy today, so it's all good. So it's kept me out of trouble, so to speak. But there's a lot to talk about, isn't there? There's a lot of stuff again written in the media. A lot of pundits having their say. Nobody can really agree on what's the best way forward in terms of do we do managerial change? Don't we do managerial change? Are the players to blame? Everybody's got their viewpoints on that. Nobody will ever agree that's the beauty of football. No. And lots of managerial talk in terms of who's on a shortlist, which we'll call a fabled shortlist, because anyone can make up a shortlist. You can make up one, Jarvis, so could Mark, so could I. So we'll call it a fabled shortlist, because is there any truth in it? Probably not. International weekend is upon us, or will be upon us after this week's round of matches. Yeah. So they've got nothing to discuss. So it all kind of starts stemming towards that way. So looking forward to the show, though. Definitely.
Me too. So, Mark, how's your weekend been? Did you see the game?
Yeah, I watched the game. Literally ruined my weekend right from the start, didn't it? So I had us down for a 3-1 win, so I got 50% of it right, didn't I? So just the wrong teams. But no. Yesterday we had a bad match, and then obviously Saturday was, in my eyes, absolutely horrendous, and the fallout from it I can't wait to get into, because there's, as always, there's so much said, because there are no other teams in the world apart from Manchester United in the news. So
nah, we are the biggest club in the world. There's no doubt about it. At least when it comes to social media and interaction. I just want to say hi to everybody. I see I am Titanium coming in early. First comment of the date coming in with wrong date. Lol. Yes, I put on the wrong date. I scheduled the show for tomorrow morning. But so yeah, sorry about that. Always with the bloopers. Yal Malmin coming in. You are everywhere, Titanium. Yes, I am Titanium. Is notoriously YouTubing Man United. So big up Bilal. Catherine, no nonsense. MacDade comes in and say we can't keep sacking managers, lads. Well, yes, we can. Sure, we can. But will it be successful? Who knows? John Aker Mode comes in and say, good evening, guys. This is going to be a great show as Jarvis are going to come out with all the answers to solve our problems. Unfortunately, Johnny, I don't have any answers. But hopefully Stu and Mark will bring us some insight and maybe we will be one step closer to the solution. Danny B is coming in. Hit that like button on the way in. Big up, Danny B. Nice to see you. We have John Edmund coming in. Good evening, all. Good evening, John Edmund. Jamie Wayne coming in with a lot of exclamation points. Sack him. Okay, Jamie Wayne. I totally understand, and I understand why people want to sack Amorim, and there's also arguments for not sacking him and keep going with this project because we're not even 12 months into it. So we will have the debate on Amorim in a while. Routinator, one of our moderators, coming in and say 1.51k subs. Yes,
I know.
That's fantastic. People are subscribing. So if this is your first time, please do us a favor and subscribe to the Tactical Devils. We have a day 147. Booyakasha, fellas. Big up, big up, Dave. Good to see you. Burba is in the house. Big up, Burba. Good to see you, Burbatov. And well, let's see. United XS IDK. Sorry for reading out your names that quickly, but Rob Taff is here. A lot of the legends have already tuned in. Is it just me? Lightning, Vendel Peterson is coming in, and who else? Teddy Morning, and I think I've called out all of your names.
So called out everyone.
Going. What?
Yeah, I think you've called everyone. Do you remember young Teddy?
Yes, Teddy Morning is. I love that name, Teddy Morning.
Yeah, good to see you, mate.
Sounds so very nice. Yeah, coming in with hi Jarvis and Stu Bros. Big up, Teddy Morning. Yes, let's get into the main topic of the show, and that's Oliver Glasner. We heard Ben Jacobs coming out with an interview. I think it was on Talk Sports, talking about the latest, and he mentioned Ben Jacobs. So let me just get the picture up for you guys to see. So here we go. Let me just share it with you guys, and we can bring it up to the screen. Okay, here we go. If Oliver Glasner was offered the job, the Manchester United job, he would take it in a heartbeat. So we all could see Crystal Palace. They won against Manchester City. Was it 2-1?
No, they beat Liverpool.
No, Liverpool. Sorry.
They beat City last year.
Yeah, beat City last year. Beat Liverpool. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a late winner by Nketiah. So Crystal Palace are doing bits, and they actually play a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it, with a back line of 3 defenders. So you can succeed with a backline of 3. So I'm just gonna blur it out, guys. Would you take Oliver Glasner as our next manager if Amorim were to be sacked?
Serial trophy winner in Germany, but I don't know why people believe he would take it in a heartbeat. He can see how broken we are as a club. He's got a hard-working team, and you can see Manchester United don't work hard. Why would you take that job? that's the thing about we say Premier League proven. All these managers talk afterwards. They know players in each squad, things like that. I don't think a Premier League manager touches United with a barge pole, apart from for a payday.
Mm-hmm.
That's generally. I think we have to shop outside the Premier League for a manager because.
But Mark, besides that, we are talking hypothetical right now because it's just wild rumors. I won't take this as very credible, but I'm asking you, would you take?
Would I take him? He plays exactly the same formation. Exactly the same formation. So
why is he succeeding then?
Because his players actually give a shit about playing football and run hard. Ours don't. Ours are, this is another manager. So he succeeds at. I say this a lot, right? So the lower you are down the league, the harder your players work, and that is what's special about the Premier League. That is why the bottom of the league can beat the top of the league on any given day, because they are fighting to get to a better club. They are fighting to prove that they're good enough to be there. When you get to a club like Manchester United and they've lost all the fight, you get the results we get. That's why we always get outrun. We want to buy his midfielders, for God's sake. His midfield too, we would take in a heartbeat for our midfield.
100%.
So that's the main difference. Because we didn't replace our midfield and we're playing someone who's blatantly too old. Well, we didn't even play him yesterday. He was suspended. Ugarte, who's someone's cast off, and Bruno Fernandes, who doesn't give a shit what he does on the pitch. This is what happens. So yes, I would take him, and he plays the same formation. We have the players to play the formation, but do those players have the heart to do as they're told and run hard? So yeah, Glasner's a great manager. I would have taken him before. Before we got Amorim, I said Glasner would be a good shout.
But Stu, do you think it would make any difference between Glasner and Amorim? They both play the same formation. Could they get the best out of these players? Would he do anything differently, you believe?
Zero difference. Unfortunately, look, I like Glasner. I think he's a great manager. I think he's done very, very well at Palace. He's made Palace into a very, very difficult side to beat. We've spoken about this before, though, haven't we? We've spoken about footballers who want to play football as opposed to footballers who can't be bothered to play, and that's the big thing for me. I don't see any manager coming in and making a change. If you don't bring somebody in, and this is the point actually about moving forward, if you don't bring somebody in that can utilise what Amorim is trying to build with a similar formation to him, and you bring a manager in who completely changes it again, then you're going down financial suicide once more. Actually, sacking Amorim, you're going down financial suicide as well, because
50 million to get rid of everyone and bring someone in, roughly 30 to 50 million.
Yeah, exactly. So as much as Glasner might want to come, you've got to deal with Steve Parish, and the guy's a prick. I mean, he really is. He's an absolute idiot. You're not going to get Glasner out of Crystal Palace at all unless you pay something stupid like 20 million in compensation. So that's not going to happen. And then we've got to pay off Amorim and his team. It's another 20 million. So you're looking at a 40 million swing immediately. We've got to find 40 million quid. And has that come out of Glasner's budget for the summer? Does that come out of Glasner's budget, if any?
It comes out of FFP, so it does come out of FFP. So.
Well, there you go then. So our budget's going to get cut, whether we like it or not. It's going to happen. The fan base is split so evenly down the middle about do you keep Amorim, don't you keep Amorim? I cannot see a way where the board will actually remove Amorim, because they'll just be, I mean, it's embarrassing for the board as it is, but it'll be equally worse if they do remove him out of the equation and they don't trust him. And we as fans have got to trust him. Now, a lot of the fans won't do it. They won't trust Amorim. I get it. He's shown nothing to suggest we need to trust him. I mean, we are we would have been relegated in a straight season.
Yeah.
Amorim, we go down. We're relegated. We're in the Championship. That's where Manchester United are.
What are we talking? Are we talking about? Is it 33 points in 33 games?
Something along those lines. I mean, it's just
that's definitely relegation form.
We'd have been relegated, and that's absolutely fine. I get it. I really do get it. I understand everybody's frustration, but we're letting the players win again. If you let Bruno Fernandes win again, you let Luke Shaw win again, you let Maguire win again, Casemiro again, all these players that have played under 2 or 3 different managers, and I don't like his system now, so I'm not going to play. That's absolute bollocks. Until a football club, I'm not talking about Manchester United, I'm talking about a club, turns around at board level and says, you know what, fuck you, and fuck you. You're gone. I'm not talking about the so-called bomb squad. I'm talking about Bruno. I'm talking about, and I love Maguire. We all know I love the way that Maguire plays, but he was hung out to dry. Completely hung out to dry. Luke Shaw, players that are now beginning to steal a living again at Manchester United. This happens all the time. I was watching a Liverpool channel earlier, and it just popped up. I wasn't watching them for any particular reason. It popped up, and they're talking about Salah's got to be dropped.
Was it Fester?
Yeah, it could have been him. On about the Irish bald guy.
Yeah.
Could have been him. Yeah, he has a meltdown. He makes me laugh at the best of times. But they're talking about they're talking Salah should be dropped.
Made a great save at the weekend.
Yeah, they've got to that stage with Salah. They want him dropped.
Yeah.
Gone. Now we can't. As Manchester United fans, we can't say that about Bruno. Well, you can't say that about Bruno. You can't do that. You can't do this. We're so fickle as a fan base, and we're so used to. I mean, young Teddy's in the chat, and he's never seen us. I don't think seen any kind of success with us. A lot of us have. We've seen it. We've seen the success. We've seen the mentality. We go back. You look at certain games, and you see a mentality, an absolute will to win. I will punch and scrape and kick my way to victory. And this group of players won't do it. They just aren't capable of doing it or don't want to do it. There's so much money in the game. So much money in the game. There is no accountability for a manager. People say, oh, well, he gets sacked. Well, where's the accountability when you're getting 12 million quid? There's no accountability for the manager. There's no accountability for the players. And until you start making the players equally culpable, equally accountable, then it's never going to work. In football, across the board, it just isn't going to work.
Well, can we talk about that then? Because let's be fair, Bruno Fernandes this season has been absolutely fucking shocking. He's been at fault for most of our goals. He's had a hand in not losing his runner. He's been played out of position, yes, but I think we're all of the opinion, including the chat, that a professional footballer should be able to drop from a 10 into a central midfield player. Yeah, that's not asking him to go play left back. That's asking him to just drop back one position. Let's say he's not been dropped. Anyone expecting him to get yanked off the pitch on Saturday? I was expecting him to be pulled off because he was that bad.
Yeah.
And yet again, he's left on the pitch for 90 minutes. Dalot was fucking shocking again. Shouldn't have been on the pitch.
Yeah.
And that's your captain and vice captain by leadership group. That's what they've chosen to do. And as they're literally best of friends. Harry Maguire, Stu, I've got a game next week against a load of 18-year-olds, so I'm going to play you on the halfway line. Do you mind doing that?
No, I wouldn't.
Every time they pull their foot back, they're going to ping it in over the top. Even if you see it coming, are you going to get there before him? No, you're not going to do it.
Oh my God.
When you play free at the back, as soon as that leg gets pulled back, the whole back line drops. But you can't even drop as a single centre back because the other two have gone missing. Why have the other two gone missing? Because they pressed into the midfield space because the two midfielders are up front. the lack of discipline. Lack of discipline comes from lack of respect for what you've been told to do. This team has no respect for the shirt, for the club, for the manager. It's not just this manager. I can understand lack of respect for the manager. Maybe we can go into that because I think between the three of us, we probably understand it a little bit better because of his age. But lack of respect for what you're told to do as a professional footballer paid over £1 million a month. You're only. I'm just asking you to do the same thing. When you build a machine, one cog doesn't work, the whole thing stops working, and then we've got one or two that don't work at all. And then we put new ones in there, nice shiny ones who are working their arse off. And then I think that was the first breakthrough, Stu. Did you see it? A couple of faces, like, what is the fucking point on their face?
Yeah.
I'm making a run, the ball's not coming. I'm calling for the ball, he's not giving it to me.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes is the biggest problem at the club. I genuinely think he is player power. And he maybe we were looking at some of the wrong people. Maybe we've been looking at some of the wrong people. Maybe we've made some wrong decisions in your Rashfords and your Garnachos, and they've got to the end of their tether and they've reacted the way they have. Maybe it's made it worse. Who knows? We're not at the club. But I still see a broken team.
Oh, big time we've got a broken team. Yeah. Well, I mean, we've got a broken club. You know, there's one thing the fans all agree on. We are in a broken club at the moment. And you're not going to fix a broken club unless you make ruthless, hard decisions about the playing style. And I said a few weeks ago, Mark, I call Bruno Fernandes the kingmaker. To me, if you've got that one player that is demanding and dictating, whether he's your best player or not, if he's not good for the system, he's not good for the team, take him out. Or just stick him on the bench for 2 weeks and see what he does. If he starts crying, Tough.
And don't have him telling you what to do when he can't do his job right.
Exactly. You know, I just don't get it. And now we're in that situation where, you know, we are talking about changing managers, we're talking about doing this, we're talking about doing that. You've got to talk about, you know, doing something with the players. Do something with the players. Don't allow the same old rubbish week in and week out to happen.
Yeah,
but also, Stu, is that entirely true? But because we have replaced a lot of players, we signed a lot of players in the last 2 seasons of Ten Hag, and now we signed this summer 5, 6, 7 players. So how many are left of there?
Yeah, I look at who stayed now, Jarvis. You're right, and that's why I'm saying we've taken out the bomb squad, and nothing's really changed. But yet you've got Fat Boy Shaw still in a wage for 15 years at Manchester United. You know, played 200 games in 10 years.
Something like that. Yeah.
You got Bruno Fernandes, who's just scored his 100th goal in 6 years.
Something like that, yeah.
You know, and that's 22 of them were penalties. You know, you'd think he'd know how to score one at the weekend, but I can actually understand him missing that because that was a joke, waiting that long. But the players are there. Certain players are still there.
We've got issues. We've got issues with certain players. Yeah, Dallo for one. Dallo's been here. Is it 8 years now? Dallo.
Yeah, but I've never seen a player decline. He went off.
Mourinho signed him.
Yeah.
So he went to Milan, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to Milan. Yeah.
Inter. He went he came back and he was doing that, and he was really level with Wan-Bissaka. It was like that, wasn't it? Literally every game, you didn't know who was gonna. And I said I would have sold Dallo and kept Wan-Bissaka.
Yes, same here. I would have kept Wan-Bissaka all day long.
I think Wan-Bissaka would be a great wing back as well right now, with the irony on him. But I just don't. I don't believe there are players. I do believe there's players on that pitch he doesn't trust, and they're all in the back line. And this is why he keeps making all these defensive changes. You know, as in what we call the defence. So that's your back three and your wing back / holding midfielders. Because these changes you can predict them week in, week out. You know what changes are coming.
But we made basic errors though as well with our recruitment and our selling side of it. So we didn't recruit a left back. We didn't recruit a proper left back 2 seasons ago, and we let left backs move out the club. You know, that's a big problem straight away. We've allowed an aging midfield to be the cornerstone of our central pillar for 3 seasons now. You know, we've allowed this aging midfield to happen.
Or longer, because we brought in an aging midfielder.
Yeah, longer. Yeah. And we know that, and we've done that, by the way, when we had Matic.
Yeah.
We got Matic at the wrong time of his career. We got Matic the wrong time of his career. Brilliant players for us, but the wrong time of their careers. You know,
great backup players. Great players to learn from.
Ericsson, wrong stage of his career. You know, I could go on. Casemiro, wrong stage of his career. I could go on. For about players that we bought, brilliant footballers who were completely, wrong for us at a particular time.
It proves your point. Cavani, Zlatan, we can literally go on, and that's how much money out of this 1.5 billion we spent.
Sanchez, you know, we could go on forever. There are certain players which I wish had worked out. Di Maria for one, if he could have
came with a funeral plan.
Yeah, we are. If he could have, Di Maria could have stuck it out at Manchester United, he'd been a great player for us. But we didn't do anything about key areas. We sent Reguilon back. I'm not saying Reguilon's are the be all and end all, but he was good. He could step.
We played without the left back when we sent him back, so that's how we roll. Guys, keep your thoughts too. Yeah, I'm not going to interrupt you anymore, but you know, I looked at Burbas Nabutinator's comment here, 30 likes. There's 83 people of you on YouTube right now.
Come on.
Yeah, come on, guys. I've jumped in and liked
we
the
sit
videos,
here and work for free, and please do us a favor. Every like counts for about 10 views. So you know, if you want this channel, if you wish Stu and I and Mark some traction on YouTube, please do us a favor, hit that like. You know, it counts. Every like counts, especially for a small channel like this. So please do us a favor, go down and smash the like. That's all I ask. So I will be forever grateful. Please, guys, sorry for interrupting. Go on.
I was saying, I was saying about all the players that we bought, great players at the wrong stage of their lives. Now you look at what Liverpool are trying to do. Okay, Wirtz is having a real tough time, you know, and he's getting questioned by Liverpool fans, etc., etc., etc. But he's a young lad.
Right, he's not good enough.
No, he's a young lad. He's come for a shitload of money. And he's got to find his way. Ekitike, young lad, come with a shitload of money, has hit the ground running. It happens with footballers. But we get a goalkeeper. Okay, that we decided not to go for Martinez. We decided not to go for Donnarumma. We got a goalkeeper, and we're not playing him. Okay, we're just not playing him. Would he do any worse than Bayern Dia? Probably not. Would he do any better than Bayern Dia? We don't know. We won't know till we find out. And we're going up against Sunderland, by the way, who are coming. They're sitting 3rd or 4th in the fucking division.
Well, that's a really good point, right? Sunderland. Everyone's watched Sunderland. This is what I expect Manchester United to be like. That's what I expect. They are playing no fear football. They're attacking. They're playing, I will score one more than you. That's football. That's Premier League.
Yeah.
And that's not what we play.
Mm.
So there are prime examples, Stu, and I can see them turning us over. And that's not being negative, because they play football in the right way and they would deserve to turn us over. I think that's safe to say. So if we don't turn up, we could be seriously hurt. But hurt as well.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's true. I don't know, guys, but I feel there's levels to this, so we can't debate everything at once. You know, we have the ownership, and I feel they are the common denominator in all of this. We talk about players. There's always a bomb squad, players we want out. But you know why? Because we have incompetent people at the top who's signing these guys. You know, we had Ed Woodward for a lot of years. Then we had John Murtog. Now we have the so-called best-in-class guys doing their thing. But, you know, nothing seems to work. And whatever we do, we are like King Midas in reverse. Everything we touch turns to shit. Yeah. So that's and my question is, why is this? Why is this? Let's start at the top. Why is this?
Why did it? Because we're buying weak mentally.
Well, no. Let's start at the top.
People. Yeah. But it's all mental. It's all mentally
CEO,
weak.
Never done the job before. Sporting director, never done the job before.
But we've got mentally weak people right across the board. We don't have anybody that's got any balls that's, that will grab somebody by the scruff of the neck and deal with something. We're allowing people to get away with murder in their respective positions. We've seen it for years. I just don't get and understand why. Look, nobody likes the Glazers, but they're self-made billionaires, so they know how to run businesses. But a football club is a different kettle of fish, and they just don't seem to have been able to grasp in 20 odd years how to run Manchester United. And I'm absolutely astonished by that. I really am astonished by it. Something massive needs to happen to this club, and it needs to almost crumble to maybe non-existence for somebody to suddenly realize what's happening. When you go into when you go and watch these players, when the younger fans, they still watch these players come in, and sign autographs and get excited when they see them. And we allow these players to feel bigger and better than what they actually are. So, the fans need to step away from these players. We don't care about you. You're not anybody that I should look up to, because you're a fucking idiot and you're a moron. We should
be like the Ryder Cup.
We should.
It should be like the Ryder Cup.
We should step away from these players, get rid of the adulation. But you can't do that, because you take all the English fans away from Manchester United, forget all the adulation. Then you've got the Chinese fans, you've got the American fans, the Central American fans, the European fans. They'll just take our place. This is a fucking problem. No English person ever steps foot in Old Trafford again. So be it. So what? I can get 60,000 from Mexico. 200,000 out of China will come over. This is the problem, and we know this. And until we kind of get. I'm sorry. But ultimately the Glazers are self-made billionaires. Whether it was a father or not, they're still self-made billionaires. That's the point I was getting at. I understand where you're coming from. You are right, but that's what I was saying. Until we
running the Buccaneers,
until we take away this adulation that these footballers get, and that parents, don't take their kids to Carrington. There should be a day where the players come out and there's nobody there to cheer for them, because we're that fed up. But it won't happen. And
stop you there. I think you just hit the nail on the head. And I don't want to be Mr. Negative tonight, because I think I speak from the heart whenever I speak. That's the only way I speak honestly and I speak true. How many protests have there been since just say over the last 2 years? 3, 4, 5? Every single one of those fans who protests still went in that ground. You are not a protester. I grew up in the age where Brighton and Hove Albion had their ground sold from underneath them, and the ground was empty. People would not go in protesting. I'm not calling for violence. I never will do. But the violence that went on with the ground, they're on the pitch, they're proper protesting. We protest like Roy Keane's prawn sandwich eaters.
Yeah.
We put on a good show, but we still want to go watch our game because I paid for that season ticket. We talk a good game, Stu. That's what Manchester United fans do. We talk a good game. We are not United fans, because you just hit the nail on the head. The Chinese are there. The Scandinavians are there. The Irish are there. We're all meant to be Manchester United fans wanting the same thing, but we paid for them tickets and I'm going to go watch the game. Great, I win. That's what they're doing. Winning. It's a full winning. Until we unite as a fan base, and I don't want to sound like bloody Goldbridge, but he is right. It's very rarely he's right, but when he says it. You've got all these supporters clubs they're all doing it for the money in their own pockets.
Yeah,
Get fame and fortune, right? It's bullshit. Right, we're all here now. We want change. What have we done to get change? I'll tell you what I do. Unless it's a present from the family, I won't even buy a United top. I buy it off someone that I know. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm not putting any money into that club anymore if I can help it. But if my son wants to go there, I'm like, do I take him? Do I take up the tickets that I know I can get? Because now I'm going against my beliefs, but I wanted him to be raised knowing Manchester United. But we don't see Manchester United. The ex-players don't see Manchester United. The best thing for this club right now is to be relegated. That sounds mad. It might be mad, but when you go back to the 70s, and when was it? 78, 76?
78. So, when we get relegated?
Yeah.
73.
74, 73, and then we came up in 74.
Yeah. When we went down and got relegated, that was the start of the Fergie era, really, because we built the club back up and we got to that point where we're going, we need to kick on. That's when it started. And then Fergie came on and took the club on, because you've got to break it down to build it up. That's what we're talking about now. The problem we've got is the Championship's so poor in their teams, it's hard for us to get relegated. We can be really poor in 31 points in 31 games or whatever it is. We could probably still be out of the relegation zone for that, because the Championship teams will get 10.
Yeah, exactly. So, we
can't even go down. We do everything right and wrong, but we will never come back until we all get on the same page.
No, it's not going to happen. Hey, Vicky's in the chat, everybody. Vicky has got some great. Yeah, Vicky's got some great topics, by the way, that she wants to discuss. So, and they're really good topics as well. Really interesting. Mm-hmm. So, watch out for those in the next week or two.
Okay. Brilliant, Vicky. Brilliant. But guys, just to say something, we talked about the guys who are signing the players, but there's something else. And the thing is, let's say in the 80s when we signed players, in the 90s when we signed players, even in the 2000s when we signed players, did we ever have problems signing players? Okay, we couldn't get Ronaldinho, we couldn't get, the best South Americans because Real Madrid had the biggest pull, but the rest, British players or Scandinavian players, we could always sign them. And we signed them, we attracted players because of the prestige, the history, the club's aura, but over time, when the result declined, the pull of the Man United badge, it weakened. And instead of players coming in because they dreamed about playing for Man United, it became about wages and financial muscles. So I think a lot of the problems come into this because, if you have no ambitions as a football player, you don't want to win stuff, but you want to make money, I think you lose a lot of your motivation. And, your bank account is still full. It doesn't matter if you lost a game. You will still bag 150K a week, 200K a week, 250 a week, 300. Some players are on almost 400K a week. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. You will bag those money, and not for just 1 week, for years and years.
But you want to leave
when you sit there on 350 a week. You want to stay because you depend on that money. And I think a lot of these players are here for one reason and one reason only, and that's the money. I think there's a culture in the club that's gone totally wrong, and I think we need to fix that. And we are trying to fix it, but not because we want to fix the culture. It's because we want to make profit, so we can sign more players. Because the solution is more money, so we can sign more players. But I think we need to reset the culture, guys. What's your thoughts?
Well, Stu, I know what you're thinking because I'm thinking it as well. We reap what we sow. Man United created that culture in world football by overpaying players, by paying over the top, by signing Ed Woodward, who destroyed the football structure. Yeah, and that's not just at Manchester United. That is across the board because he started paying stupid wages. So again, reap what we sow. We're in this because this is where we're at. Money has destroyed football. What are you going to do about it?
Well, we can't do anything, and this is the problem.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah,
but you can say the same in Real Madrid. Why did they sign Endrick? Why could they sign?
Because there's only two
his name? Must have told you his name. The guy everybody talked about this summer.
Master Dano or whatever it was.
Yeah, something. I know they get the biggest talents. It's not just because of money. It's because of the pull. People want to go to Real Madrid because they want to win things.
Well, the problem is
a lot of players in this group came to Man United because they want to win things. Do you think Bruno came to Man United because he want to win things? Or Cunha? Really?
The problem with Real Madrid is, and they do pay big money because let's not forget they were paying Ødegaard 80 grand a week when he was 15. 80,000 quid a week and he was 15 and he never made it. Endrick is on a similar deal, 80 grand. His parents are in a mansion and he's not going to make it. He just isn't going to make it, that kid, unfortunately. But he's set up for life. Ødegaard was set up for life. At 15, he's had a 5-year deal, 80,000 a week. He's set up for life. His parents knew it and he knew it. Whether he was going to make it at Real Madrid was completely insignificant to his lifestyle. It was done.
Yeah.
Chelsea doing exactly the same thing.
But he still had a hunger to achieve something in his
career. And he didn't make it. And he moved down to Wolfsburg, wherever he went. And then eventually ended up at Arsenal, where he's settled and he's an exceptional talent when he's fit. You've got Chelsea giving out 9-year contracts to drugs cheats. Mudryk, he doesn't give a damn. He doesn't care. He signed a 9-year deal at 70 grand a week or whatever it was. Thank you very much. The end. And that's how you do it. Lamine Yamal wants to play football, 17, wants to play football. He's going to earn a shitload of money, probably earn more money than Messi and Ronaldo, but he wants to play football. He's a delight to watch. Whether we like him as an individual or not, it doesn't matter. Got himself a signature boot deal already, but 17 with Adidas. That's it. He'll be an Adidas athlete in perpetuity, the same as Beckham is. Beckham's still getting paid by Adidas. Nike still pay Cantona, Ronaldinho. These are the very, very best of the very best that are getting still paid in perpetuity. So down with Adidas, etc. But who outside of Lamine Yamal is there to carry? Who's the next British player to even come close to a Lamine Yamal in terms of a global appeal?
In the same team as him, Pedri and Gabby.
No, British player I'm talking about.
Oh, no, Phil Foden.
I agree with Pedri and Gabby. They'll probably not rise. I agree with you on Pedri and Gabby. They won't rise to Lamine Yamal status, but they will. And then you've got Real Madrid, who suddenly decided, you know what, we're not going to go out and spend 90 million on this. And the Bellingham and Mbappe deals, if you remember, were quite spread between their last biggest purchase because they had Casemiro, they had Modric, they had the crooner, they had Benzema, they had goal scorers all around, players all around. So they didn't need to go out and spend big money. Decided to spend big money when it was necessary. I wouldn't have paid 115, 160 million for Mbappe anyway. No chance. Jude at the time was worth his money. But he's struggling at the minute, Jude. He needs to get his act together and go back to how he was when he first joined Real Madrid. There are, the way that Mark's right, Gabby and Pedri, phenomenal talents at Barcelona. Don't play every week, but when they do, they come on and they do something for the team. We're just not seeing that at Manchester United. We're not seeing players that you think to yourself, you know what? Wow, this is something special. We've got somebody here that we can really nurture and turn into a world beater.
We're being tricked into thinking there is, Stu. We are being tricked. We've got JJ Abraham, we've got Obi, we've got Kone, we've got all these youngsters we're signing. They're going to be superstars. Are they? If you actually watch that, you've got to watch the level of the players they're playing against. as well. And the speed that those games are playing against. That's my neck of the woods to understand. And week in, week out, it could be so different. So different. They look good, but they might not grow. These are the silly little things which people forget to take into account. Oh, he's a great, skillful player when he fills out. Well, sorry, my mate get go from Bournemouth, top goal scorer 2 years on the trot, and assists, goals and assists, let go at 15, no YTS back in the day, because he was too small. If it wasn't for Lionel Messi, we would still be thinking the same way for small players. It was Lionel Messi that broke that mold. So he actually went.
Maradona. How tall was Maradona?
Well, he was tiny.
He's not bigger than Messi.
The average footballer's height is 6'2".
You are, sorry?
Average footballer's height now is 6'2".
It's crazy. It's more physical. The game is becoming more physical.
Well, you know, that's where we're looking.
I just want to bring out. I see. Was it Boxing Straight Talk who asked, "Is this true though that we have to pay over the odds now because otherwise we can't attract them?" And you know, if you look in the broader sense, since the last league title, you know, we started signing players like, for example, Di Maria didn't want to come, Alexis Sanchez didn't want to come. You know, we have signed a lot of these big name flops that came in only for one thing, and that was the money. And I think, yes, it's true in a sense, but you know, I'm not sure about the last two seasons because we haven't been able to attract big name players like
who are the big
Ballon d'Or type of guys.
Who are the big name players now? To me, they don't exist anymore, Jarvis. When we were, if you go back to your 30s, you could name a big name player, couldn't you? Zidane coming into the end of his career, etc. If you were to say back in the early 2000s, you would go to AC Milan. It was packed with talent. Barcelona packed with talent. Real Madrid packed with talent. Manchester United packed with talent. Napoli wasn't. Inter Milan not so much, but there was still talent in there. Zanetti. You know, Ronaldo, when he played there, I mean, Ronaldo played for Inter and AC, didn't he? You know, that type of thing, that you could talk about talent all the time. Today, I look around the Premier League, I look around the globe, and that's why I asked, who else out there, Lamine Yamal, would you consider to be this generational talent that people can get behind? You know, it's been dominated so much by Messi and Ronaldo. Bellingham, Jude, but he's got to sort himself out. You know, people are talking about Xavi and Iniesta. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Xavi and Iniesta. I mean, you drool, don't you? And then who's sitting behind them, Mark? Jarvis? Sergio Busquets. And what does Busquets do? Gets the ball and gave it to the better players. He made
but who was behind him? PK,
made a career out of it. Made a career out of it, Busquets. He was a brilliant footballer, don't get me wrong. You know, and then we go with Casemiro, the crooner, and Modric. And who's behind them? Pepe, Varane, and Ramos. You know what I mean? This is what it's all about. You know, who was behind Kaká? You know, Jaap Stam when he was at AC Milan. All right, Jaap. All right, no problem. You know, it doesn't happen.
And Maldini,
of course, yeah. And it doesn't happen at this point in time. And that's all I'm getting at. I'm not saying that we don't have any, you know, players coming through. You know, JJ Gabriel looks like he's going to be some kind of talent. But we've got to nurture him and make sure he is some kind of talent. Kai Rooney, listening to Wayne Rooney's podcast, he would say that he sees similarities within himself. Looking at Kai now, and you know, you're thinking to yourself, "Wow, that would be some player if there are similarities." So that when you look at what your question, Jarvis, when you actually go back to Shearer was the turning point in salary, if you remember, going back from the Blackburn days, moving to Newcastle, because he was on about 10 grand a week at Blackburn, something along those lines, and he got sold for 15 million, and he picked up 35 grand a week. 35 grand a week. So you got Roy Keane in the Premier League at that time, Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, all these wonderful, wonderful players who were then saying, well, hold on. If he's earning 15 a week, I'm a serial winner. I want 50 a week. And this is where
I think it was more the other way around. We lost out on him. We went for him. We lost out on him. He got given that wages. Ferguson turned around and said, "We don't lose out to another player."
Yes, that is true. But I've got to be honest. Whether we like Shearer or not, I was quite heartened when he decided, no, I'm going back to my hometown club, Newcastle. Because that's really what football's about.
Yeah.
At that time, you did it, didn't you? You went to a place where you want. Shearer knew, and he talks about it all the time. If I'd gone to Manchester United, I'd have had 6 Premier Leagues in my back pocket. We'd have dominated Europe, dominated the Premier League with Shearer. We all know that. Every one of us knows that. But he made that personal choice, didn't he? To go back to. But Jarvis, you make a great point. We lost out on Ronaldinho. We were that close, apparently, to Ronaldinho, but he decided at the last minute he wanted to go to Barcelona. Many people may or may not remember we were very, very, very close to getting Ronaldo from PSV.
Pulled out the deal, didn't we?
For
the R7. No, R9.
R9 for
R9.
9 million, 9.75 million or something daft like that.
I think we pulled out.
We did.
He didn't turn us down. We pulled out the deal.
We pulled out the deal.
We should have signed Haaland. We should have. There's plenty of players we could have actually got signed.
And we haven't done any of this, But we
this
were
was
close.
last week on Wayne Rooney's podcast. He talked about himself. He talked about. Oh no, it wasn't. It was with Rio. He was talking about the contract. About saying about when he handed in the "I want to go" then transfer request, because he had a meeting with Ferguson. He'd been given the contract. Contract was all done. He was happy with the contract. Spoke to the manager and said, "But who are we buying to replace Cristiano and Tevez?" And he got told to fuck off. He got thrown out the office. And he made a point. He went, "As from that day, we haven't had a decent striker. We had Robin van Persie, who was past it. But after that, we haven't had a good, couple of
Cavani." I think Cavani was brilliant.
Cavani,
he was on his... He was past it,
he was
still brilliant.
I was brilliant.
If we're going to say Cavani, then Zlatan's there, but we haven't. They're past it.
Yeah,
he was right. It's true. From Wayne Rooney leaving Manchester United, we never had a decent striker, and we have never really been able to score goals consistently since. But then, like we said about the midfielders, you think who came out of that midfield with him? In Michael Carrick and people like that. Jarvis, you touched on it earlier. We're signing Casemiro. We're signing Matic, past it. So all we do now is sign a big name player from someone else, because we can sign them for good money. They become an asset. We can borrow more money against the asset. The Glazers can take their dividend. The Glazers can buy a player for the Buccaneers football team.
Yeah. By the way, Noradin, check your WhatsApp. I sent you the link.
We're dying from the inside out, really, aren't we? We're doing this to ourselves.
But Mark, Stu, so okay, we talked about the problem with the ownership, the problem with who we are signing, the money problem. But the next is the culture in Man United. As we said, a lot of these players, they come in, they are relatively big talents when we sign them. The hype is real, and they perform in other clubs before they come to Man United. But when they come here, as I said, we are like King Midas in reverse. So why is this? Why can't they perform? Is it the pressure of Man United? Is there something cursed in our club? Why can't we just achieve glory with these guys? Stu?
It's weakness. It really is weakness. It's a weak mentality. I don't see any pride in playing for the club anymore. I look at these players. Good seeing everything. I look at these players. I look at a mistake, and it's a clap. What are you clapping for?
That's a hand up. Sorry, lads.
Yeah. Sorry, lads. You made a mistake, but I want to see a player bite back. I don't see enough players biting back anymore. I don't see The best way to stop opposition momentum is to put somebody on their ass. The end. Period. That's all you do. You stop at any given time their momentum, their push towards you, their propulsion, so to speak. You put a brick wall in there and you halt it. We don't do that. We take stupid free kicks where you don't need to take a free kick, and we don't get give away a free kick when you have to take a free kick, whether you like it or not. Whether the Brentford guy should have been sent off or not on Saturday. Collins, he made a decision to stop Mbeumo. I'm going to stop you, and that's it. And I'll take the consequence, whatever the consequences are. I'll take the consequences. He made that conscious decision.
It was a win-win for him, wasn't it? I'll take a yellow, and he missed the penalty. Fucking great.
Yeah. So for him, he took the risk, he took the gamble, he rolled the dice, and he got away with it. And we don't do that. It's like I said to you, Jarvis. As soon as Thiago pulled off of Maguire should have grabbed him. So what is the last man? So fucking what? You grab him. You do something, because you might get a sympathetic referee that just gives you a yellow card. You might not.
Yeah, I don't know what is sending off these days, because a Chelsea player can headbutt someone, kick them in the head. Neither of them are sent off. Players pulled down in front of goal, not sent on. Salah tips the ball off on his hand.
I don't really got away with it. Yeah, got away with it.
I no longer know what it is, but do you know what is a red card? Fucking snap someone into.
Well, it is, and that's kind of what I'm getting to. So, like I say, people might have had a pop at Maguire, and we might have got sent off, but Jarvis, they might not have scored. So you take a gamble in football. How many times have you taken a gamble in a game and thought, I've got to stop this guy, whatever the cost, whether I get a yellow card, whether I get sent off, I've got to stop him because he's destroying us. You make that conscious decision during a game of football. I don't see us making any decisions whatsoever to change the flow of a game, to stifle the opposition. We're so slow at the back with Luke Shaw, laying it across to Maguire. Well, I'll just pop it across to De Ligt. And then I'll give it to Dalot. Oh, Dalot, what do I do? Well, I'll go back to De Ligt. What am I going to do now? Oh, I'll go back to Maguire, or put it into Casemiro. Then Maguire gets it back. As soon as Brentford get it, turn, bang, turnover, move, pace, power, aggression.
Win the ball. Jordan Henderson's older than Casemiro, isn't he?
Win the ball back, run with it, move it, pass it, keep running, take the return, bang. I mean, that is football. And I talk about it all the time. I'm going to shut up now because I could start to feel myself getting a bit angry now. So I'm going to shut up now. But ultimately, we don't do any of that. And that is basics. You don't need to have a UEFA Super license to understand the basics of football. And when you are playing football every day, you are going to training, you are kicking a ball every fucking day of the week. Every fucking day of the week. And you cannot determine what you should and shouldn't be doing in a game of football and how to stifle the opposition. You need fucking shooting. You shouldn't be anywhere near a professional football club.
No.
Anyway, sorry, Nuruddin. Good to see you, pal.
Yeah,
welcome.
Big up, everybody. Please smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Wade saying snood because I'm a cyclist. I cycle around, so for traffic and stuff like that. Sometimes getting flies and stuff like that in my mouth, so I keep a snood.
But Norden, we had a discussion about the manager. There were some rumors today from Ben Jacobs. I don't know if you saw the start of or listened into the start of the show. But apparently we are after Glasner, and Glasner he would love to come to Man United. But we have been linked to Xavi. We have been linked to, I would say, Southgate, Conte, Raiola, even Michel from Girona. So many managers out there, but from your perspective, not what you think Man United will do, but let's say, who would you take in as the next guy if Amorim gets the sack?
Yeah. And why? Well, I think we got bigger problems than just being a coach. I want to put that. I've always said that. I've always been trying to get out this guy in, that guy in. I've just stated what I see with my own eyes. Like, for example, Ten Hag, I did say after 7 months, I don't think this is sustainable, what he was doing. So I just call what I see with my own eyes. Big up to somebody, I think, saying, Box still unfitted as a Nuruddin. You called out Radcliffe and Innes for a long time. People called him negative, including me. I apologize. Listen, nobody needs to apologize. It's all good. It's just certain people. We just see it. Some people don't see it. Some people want to be positive for being positive sake. Some people just, there are many things that I don't see and other people point out to me. The problems of Manchester United run deeper than just a coach. And I've been consistent for 20 years. The managed decline of Manchester United was part of it. Fergie did create, and he helped destroy this football club as well with his silence and the 2 million that he was taking from Glazer Ineos. And it's really interesting that I'm now seeing people like Wayne Rooney, who only a couple of years ago was talking about Glazers spent money. This is what Wayne Rooney said. When he was at DC United, people asked, oh, the Glazers spent money. And then he was also, him and Rio were doing stuff with the club, promoting a shirt, the third kit, I think it was, in, if I'm not mistaken, 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago, in New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. They were promoting that kit. So all of this, now that he's got his own podcast, and not many people know about it, Wayne Rooney is now coming out saying this and that and this and that. The club's got no, so give it an effing rest, man. You're playing to the gallery. I 100% took your side and agree with you. And I think, Mark, you were saying before I come in here about how Wayne Rooney did stand up to Fergie. He did say, listen, where's Tevez going? Where's Ronaldo? Who we buying? And at that time, some of the fans ostracized him for questioning Fergie. But if you're winners, you have to question each other all of the time. Fergie did not mind other players questioning him. It's those stories that are told, but Rooney was right. The managed decline of Manchester United is not one person's fault. It's institutional, it's structural, and it's systemic. That's what's going on with Manchester United. So whoever the next coach is, unless he's a fucking miracle worker, unless he's fucking Moses and can stop us from partying this, getting partied like a fucking sea, then I don't know. We'll all get excited, we'll all get into it, and we'll think this is the guy that to do it. I think Ruben Amorim has tried to get himself a sack. I've been thinking long and hard since the weekend and the way that he's been acting for the past couple of weeks. And I remember Jose. Saying kids, he went to pre-season and then we dragged it out. Remember, we dragged it out. Jose wanted to get out of there. The day that he stood and said, he kept telling me about fucking Sevilla, football heritage. That's when the time that if any club worth any of his soul would have been like, there's a P45 Tara. At the end of the day, Amorim, he keeps repeating the same fucking things. We keep conceding the same goal we conceded against West Ham in the preseason, and it's happening again and again. Actually, some teams, instead of doing it with 3 passes, they're doing it with 2 passes. Yes, I 100% agree with what Stu was saying. As a football, even playing at Saturday League, we were told if you're in a place in the football pitch, if you can prevent a goal, it used to be like the ball might get past you, but the man's definitely not getting past you. That was the old way of school. You take the effing yellow. You take the effing yellow for the team, and then you make sure that you don't do any silly things to go down to 10 men. But you take the yellow, and everybody understands. The whole team understands. You took the yellow. Shada did exactly the same. When I think he was in Burma or Cunha. He literally did he jumped on his back like he was going to give him a picky bank, and he took the yellow, because that's the most important thing to stop. In Burma eats grass, and then they skip over, and then the rest is history. But at the end of the day, I wish it was the magic bullet, and just changing Amorim, we would just be finding so much. We all know and understand that every coach was the recruitment for every coach. No coach was actually back. And actually the guy that was mostly backed was Ten Hag. And look what happened. He was the most the club spent money on, was Ten Hag. And he was actually in control a lot of the football. So we've tried all of these different things. There's a fundamental issue. And I told everybody on there, man, if they were listening, about Ineos. They're not successful in football. There's not many sports where they're successful at. And I told the cows come home, but people tag me as a negative or whatever. And they have made one horrendous mistake after a horrendous mistake. If Omar Barada knew about football, if Jason Wilcox knew about football, they would be in that meeting to hire Amorim. They'd be like, no. Just like Dan Ashworth told them, he's not compatible. The players we had, the players we still have, are not compatible, and he's too stubborn to implement and adapt. He doesn't have to change his game plan. He doesn't have to change his system. He just needs to adapt it to the Premier League and respect where he is, the Premier League. Pep fucking Guardiola did it. Jurgen Klopp did it. You have to do it. This is the Premier League. This ain't no Portuguese league. You have to do it. And at the end of the day, he refused to do that. And I think my little theory is that because they didn't give him a midfielder, I did a match reaction because I was so concerned. And people were like, this is pre-season. I'm like, well, pre-season tells you where you need to be. After the Leeds pre-season game in Sweden, I was shocked how we got dominated in midfield. I was absolutely, and I did a show afterwards reacting to that. And some people in the comments are like, look at this muppet talking about pre-season. And I'm like, pre-season tells you what the coach and stuff, what the players have been working on. To be fair to Amorim, he did say he needed legs in midfield. Yeah. The club sent out the only kid who's got legs to get around with a bit of physicality to West Brom. And then to stop the protest, Ineos Glasner propaganda thought they could get Baleba the same money that Chelsea.
Donnarumma and Baleba at the same time. All the leagues were out. Yeah,
to get the same money that they thought they could
everyone's falling for it every fucking time. You all fall for it.
Yeah, I fell for it. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I was like, they surely can't. Like I was like, because I like Baleba. I think he's got brilliant level of physicality. So I was thinking, Baleba, that's a big player to go and get. But we now find out that they thought they could get in the same money as Chelsea got for Pedro, which is not like, it wasn't 80 million. They got him for about 60 million.
They didn't put in 50 million bid. From people I know at Brighton, that bid never came in.
No, I'm saying to you, but all of it was through intermediaries. It wasn't actually club to club. What I'm saying to you, the intermediaries believed they could get the player for Manchester United for the same amount of money. And Pedro was kicking off in the training ground and was kicking up us, and they just thought, right, get rid of him. And that's what United thought they could get him for at the most 70 million at the most. But but it's ridiculous. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, I just want to shout out this super chat from Grace. Let's play the jingle for Grace.
Grace is getting the shades.
The shades.
Grace gets the shades.
Jordan, you might want to cover your ears.
Yes.
I don't have cool shades as Stu. I only have my reading glasses, but So, Stu, can you read out the super chat from Grace? Thank you for the £5 super chat.
So Grace is an absolute legend. She supports this channel every show that we do. Grace, thank you so much. It's always appreciated. Would you give Amorim the full season, yes or no? No matter how bad it gets. No more manager talk till next summer. Grace, I was on the other day saying I would give Amorim the full season. I'm with you. I don't think there should be any more manager conversations. But everybody, is this one so divided, this question? But that's just from me. Jarvis, your thoughts?
I believe in longevity, and I always think that in time things will be better. We just got to work a little bit harder, and get a unit. It takes time. Everybody have started a new job, and after a year you're much better at it. You learn your new skills and how to interact with the new co-workers and the new place and the new environment and all of this. So last season I was hoping that Ten Hag would get the full season. I thought that would be the better choice. Mainly because I felt that Ten Hag had something in him, but it was difficult because of, Man United is a mess. When it comes to Ruben, I see it a little bit differently because I analyze his football. I watch a lot of what he's doing, and I think he makes a lot of mistakes. And for me, he's not learning from his mistakes. He's not correcting what he's doing wrong. So I'm not even sure if a full season is enough for him, to fix things, because I think he needs to learn the hard way. And maybe we need maybe 2 years for Ruben to come good. And I'm not sure if we have the time, to fight relegation for two more seasons. So at the moment, no. If it gets worse, I think we need to take a hard choice and let him go. Not because I think it solves every problem, but I think it comes to a stage where it's unsolvable for him, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Just before we move on, Nuruddin and Mark, Vicky's had a question. She's got an early start in the morning, so we're going to give this to you guys. Can you answer Vicky's question, please? To me, no one is bigger than the club, but once again, if it's not a player or a manager, it now seems. Anything else? Do you feel anything?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up again.
Okay. Yeah, bring it up again. Do you feel anything like that? Is it player, the manager, or is it Ineos? What's happening at the club?
Norden, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I think it's all of it. I think the players have a blame, but I think it's Ineos who finally make the decision. They took control of the football club and football operations with Joe Glazer. Joe Glazer is still there, people. He's also part of the decision making in the boardroom. And if you look at the Manchester United hierarchy, he's there alongside Radcliffe. Radcliffe is actually more involved than you think. A lot of people think he is there. And they also have 2 people still advising them. Some of the meetings, sometimes Fergie and Gill are still around as well. They're still about. So, ambassadorial kind of board, but sometimes they go into the meetings. I think it's Ineos because for me, they've not shown anything, and I wanna break it down. Jason Wilcox, this is the biggest football club he's ever been director of football, so he's learning a job. He only had a year and a half, if I'm not mistaken, at Southampton.
He wasn't even director of football there.
Okay, he was the youth. Was he the youth guy?
He came in as a weird sort of title. They had a director of football. They sacked him. He stepped up, and within 3 months, we appointed him.
Okay, there we go. So he barely there. And then Omar Barara was the COF, and he had no clue about football. And it was Berestan and the other guy who were making the footballing decisions at Man City. Dan Ashworth was the only guy actually who had a little bit of pedigree about football, and he was the guy who said Ruben Amorim is not the guy. Same thing with West Ham said. Advisors, the director of football, or the advisors at West Ham said the same. At Liverpool, they said the same. The reason why they rejected him because they said it's too much change and it's too much to adapt, mainly because they don't have the players to play that 4-3-3. They have to change that. So for me, Fitch always rots from the head. We had the Glazers who've done what they've done for the past 20 years. And then now you've got people who gave them the investment that they wanted, which is Ineos. And then to go do this best in nonsense, best in class my ass. People who are just learning on the job. So everybody there is learning on the job. Omar Barara is a CEO, never been CEO anywhere else in football. Jason Wilcox, 3 months. As a director of football, he was a youth guy at Man City and Southampton mainly. And then
he was technical director. That's what he was, and that's what we brought him in
it's a pathway. So it's like a pathway youth to first team. Yeah. And then you've got Amorim, who is a 40-year-old. I'm older than fucking Amorim. He's a 40-year-old.
And his assistant managers, we all know that.
He's learning on the job. He's learning on the job. And I said it from day dot. You don't go and get guy who is even more in terms of how we demand of certain players in the modern system. He said so. If you're not going to back him, you cannot be half pregnant. You either back somebody or you don't. And this is what so that's been the history of scattergun recruitment, half backing, quarter backing, wink backing, you know what I mean? Stuff in the cap now and again. We can have that player. I mean, the classic example is the kid, and now he's injured, but I hope he recovers. What's his name? Van der Beek. He's at Girona. He's at Girona. He just had his thing.
Michel?
The Dutch. No, the Dutch.
Oh yeah.
Donny. Ollie did not want him. Ollie wanted Grealish. Yeah, Donny van der Beek. Ollie wanted Grealish, and the people who were a part of the recruitment at that time were like, "Oh, you need a midfielder, one that who can be a bit more in the box and can create space and stuff like that." There you go, Donny van der Beek. He never wanted Donny van der Beek, and that's why he didn't play Donny van der Beek, and that's why Donny van der Beek was just the way how he was treated. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. The players don't. I always say players don't bite themselves. Coaches don't bring themselves. People make those decisions, and at the end, the buck stops with them. If I own a cafe, I don't blame the waiters or the chef. Buck stops with me.
Yeah.
By
the way, Northern, I believe Ollie wanted was it Jack Grealish and Jamie Madison.
Madison, and he wanted to bring in Haaland before he went to Dortmund.
Yeah. And Bellingham. So, well, we know the structure won't back your manager, not even Amorim.
To be fair, Jude was always going to Dortmund anyway. That was a done deal.
Yeah, we wouldn't guarantee him the minutes was the reason given. It wasn't the fact we showed him around an absolute shit show of a training ground and he laughed.
It's how you sell a project. It's not how you sell. You don't sell the project with Murtaugh and Arnold trying to grab the attention. When you have Ferguson and who was it? Eric Cantona sitting there.
Yeah. Just be happy in the fact that we were never getting Jude.
You've had 2 super chats, and part of what Vicky put in her message, like I could probably cover all 3 off at the same time. So I don't know if you want to read the 2 out, and then I'd add on to what Nordin's just said, because they actually all go hand in hand. I believe the three of them. So
okay. Let's start with the first one. We have one from Helge. Big up Helge Skjæveland coming in and with a 50 Norwegian kroner. Big up. Thank you, Helge, for the super chat. And he said we had arguably the most important transfer window in our history. Ineos with a plan best in class. Then we tried to sign Gallagher on loan. DLD. Deadline day. So it tells you a lot about the state of our club. Brilliant comment there, Helge. But anyone have anything to say about this?
Just before we answer that, Helge, we will get you on. I know you keep asking, and we do want to have you join us. So we did actually a phone-in show on Thursday, but you might not have been around. So we'll get in touch with you separately, and we will get you on, pal. I promise.
I'll take this one because, like I say, this and age of the coaches, and that was all part of my answer to Vicky's question. So transfer window, we have changed manager. We have brought in Ineos. What's changed in our transfer strategy? Nothing, because as Nordin just alluded to, the Glazers are still involved. And we can't have a check without their signature on it. So it still has to be signed off in America. Still slows us down. We try and make it. When's our transfer window open? Start of July. Oh, well, that's full for July. And then there's this fucking break and that break through July. Then we're on tour. The whole thing goes out the window. That's number one. Okay. So we might go for best in class, but we can't get it done quick enough and people come in and take our players. Because we're not just doing a deal. It's not like, Nordin, you've got a player I want. Yeah, I'll give you so-and-so. And we have a bit of back and forth when we do the deal there on the day. No, well, I'll just get back to you. If you can just hang on. And then someone else phones you up and takes the player before. So we're always going to be screwed all the time they sign the checks. And as he said, Ineos are bullshitting you, but they're in control. They don't sign the check. Ineos have sacked 16 managers or something like that at Nice. So all they do is sack managers, which says they never appoint a decent manager. They never believe in a manager. They never give him time. So
or back him sufficiently.
Yeah, Amorim will be sacked next week. He will be sacked in the international break, whether we win, lose, or draw. That's my belief. I don't think he should. Do I believe he should have a year? Yes. Why do I believe he should have a year? Because I don't believe the players are playing for him. I see the formation. I see such bad positioning on the pitch. There is no way that is coached and you're told to be there. That is someone doing what they want to do and not. And I said last week, I don't believe he'll change the system, because if he can't trust them to do what he wants, why is he going to trust them in a different system? And that system we are all calling for, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. These are all played by Ten Hag. They couldn't fucking do that system. You know, it's not the system, because I understand the system. It's how you play the system.
Yeah.
It's not a computer game. The player steps on the pitch, he does a job. So should he be given another year? Yes. Because what you do by backing the manager for a year, you then say, now it's on the players. You go and do your job, because he's not going anywhere. And if you don't want to do your job, he doesn't have to put you on the pitch. And I know Noradin's definitely said this before, and I think, Stu, you have. Those players have minutes guaranteed in their contracts. Unless you're prepared to pay him, like, not play the player, but give him the money out the contract for not playing him, you know, whatever that is, these players will stay on the pitch. They are in there. They always have been in there. They're guaranteed minutes. You do not drop your captain as a bit of an unwritten rule, unless he's playing shit, because he's meant to be your leader. So you drop him. You bring someone else in. We called for it for Maguire. Why is the fan base not calling for it right now? Because we really threw Maguire under the bus. Why are we not throwing Bruno under the bus? Because he will eventually.
He will eventually.
Because he scores goals. Everyone thought he was a match winner. But you'd throw a centre back underneath the bus, whose job is not to score goals. He's there to concede them, but everyone else, there's 11 players on the pitch that stop you from conceding a goal, and there's 11 players on the pitch that help you score a goal.
Well, that's it. Helga, brilliant super chat. Nuruddin, we got one for you from Sanchi. Now, Sanchi, again, is an absolute legend. So pretty much every show that we do, Sanchi pops in a super chat. We're so grateful, pal. Amorim, 2 main support staff are 28-29 and don't know the Premier League. If Amorim stays, he needs somebody in his support staff who understands the Premier League. So this is something, Nuruddin, just so you know, I touched on, didn't I, Jarvis, about 2 weeks ago. I said I would bring in Patrice Evra, not as a number 2 or a conduit between Amorim and the players. But we definitely need somebody with experience. Great question, Sanchi. Nuruddin, over to you.
Yeah, I said that when he first come in. I look at somebody like Pep Guardiola for what he did at Barcelona, what he did at Bayern Munich. And Brian Kidd, one of the most experienced number 2s, stood next to Fergie for a long time. He was his number 2. Because Pep Guardiola does not have a clue about English football or the Premier League. He heard about it. He might have watched games. He might have played against teams who played in the Premier League, but didn't have a clue. Brian Kidd knew everything. Brian Kidd was next to Fergie for a long, long time. So at the end of the day, that was always a thing. When he rejected Rude, I was like, interesting. But then you're always like, if somebody's going to come in, then, you know, let them get their people. No. Because he's deeply insecure. When you're a young coach, you're deeply insecure. So he's deeply insecure. He was never going to take somebody like Rude. You know what I mean? Ten Hag had to be forced. That's when you knew it was over for Ten Hag.
Yeah.
And Ten Hag, when Rude was forced on Ten Hag. And then the club remixed. They said, "Oh yeah, no. This is he chose them. Ten Hag chose them." No, Ten Hag chose the other guy, the other guy, because that's his best friend in football.
He trusted Van der Gaag, didn't he? That's right.
Yeah, but he didn't choose Rude. And in a very football, there's a side of top level football. There is a lot of egos, coaches and everybody else.
Who would you have in, Nuruddin? Who would you bring in as a team?
Who would I have in just for the laughs? Roy Keane.
I got no issue with that. I got no problem with
that. I would have taken René Mullenstein or something.
Yeah.
Someone really, really
technical coach.
Really yeah, someone like that.
Somebody who's going to basically tell Amorim, listen, respect the effing Premier League.
Yeah. Someone who's been around, done it all, and actually know what he's talking about. Someone who can put Amorim in his place and say, listen, son.
That's why I went for
experience. This is not.
You've got the flip side to that. You can bring someone in to put Amorim in his place, but they still can't say fuck all to the players because they're being HR. They're being the office.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, and I agree with you, Mark. I think you're absolutely right. Do you know what? I'd rather be in the HR office weekly, and I would discuss wokeism in football. I'm not talking wokeism in general. I would talk about wokeism in football, Mark. I mean, Jesus Christ. You know this as well. It's like Nuruddin, Jarvis, all played the game. Everyone in the chat, all played the game of football. And we know what it takes to win a game of football. And you know how easy it is to lose a game of football. Even just that slight being off the pace by a yard, getting your timing wrong by a second. Vicky, you're 100% right, is an emotional child. Absolutely right. All of this works. But, Mark, if you can't take a bollocking off Nuruddin, or Nuruddin can't take a bollocking off me, or nobody would bollock Jarvis because he's too angelic looking. So we'd probably, tone it down with Jarvis. No. Just in case, he started using the old Marine tactics.
Stop it.
No, but my point being, if I give the ball away and I can't take Nuruddin saying, Wooly, you fucking wanker, what the hell are you doing? You're better than that. Then what am I doing on the pitch anyway? Because Nuruddin's right. He knows, I know I've made the mistake. And he knows he's got to bollock me, but by turning around and saying, you're better than that, I understand. He's not having a pop at me. He's just saying, come on, Stu, get your fucking act together. But the emotion of football, and this is why I think we're emotionless. I look at our players, guys, I think we're completely emotionless. We don't show any emotion. The balls, the balls that didn't go into Sesko again on the weekend, Dallo moving into, as me and Jarvis were discussing, moving into Mbumo's position for a cross, literally stopping a cross because Dallo was too dumb to understand, not to be in the position he ended up.
Keep inverted.
Nature, and it winds me up and it just drives me absolutely crazy. And you walk in. I remember watching the All or Nothing with Tottenham. And there was almost a big scrap, wasn't there, between Lloris and Son, because Son hadn't made a run. And Lloris came in absolutely fucking fuming. That would never happen with our club.
I was in the Arsenal one as well. You had the Arsenal bust up on the pitch. They actually left it in. Arsenal left it in. So
I did see that, yeah.
Saliba or someone like that before he went on loan.
Was it? Yeah. I don't think
it's needed in football.
So I'm just really fed up with it, But it's a brilliant question, Sanchi. And Nuruddin, I love it. But Evra for me, and only because when I watch Evra, I still see the passion about Manchester United.
Well, they got Heinze, haven't they, at Arsenal now? Very similar, passionate players.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Literally, he was his replacement, wasn't he? They dovetailed. But it's. I'm all for the old players, but I come back to it and I put a lot of understanding into players' mentality in 2025 compared to players' mentality in 2005, right?
Yeah.
So it's all right to put these players in there, but if the players' mentality is soft, you can't put them in there, right? So I said earlier, you've got a 40-year-old manager, yeah?
Mark, I just said Roy Keane so that he can punch a couple and get out of there. So then these real HR problems, not just by talking to them.
No.
And when you pin a couple of them against the wall, that's what I was saying. Just for that, for those stories.
You've heard this from Wayne Rooney. You've heard this from Paul Scholes. When they were there, they said how the changing room was changing before they hung their boots up and getting out. Like, you couldn't say this, you couldn't do that. They'd already changed the contracts and things. All our ex-players comment on this all the time. You can't say that to them now. So they have to have it in themselves because you're not allowed to install it in them. Now, I look at young players come through and you can tell within 10 minutes of how they come out of the changing room onto a training pitch. You go, yeah, he'll make it. He won't make it. You know, the ones who are coming out having a laugh and a joke, 9 times out of 10, won't make it. The ones who come out jogging straight out on the pitch and they're stretching before they're being told to stretch. This is youth players. You don't see that now. And now we can't install it by having a Roy Keane. You come in, oi, black boots only. Yeah? You're not allowed to do that. You can't tell me what to wear. You can't tell me what to do. But when you have a 40-year-old manager, what's our oldest player? Casemiro? 34, 35?
Yeah, he is. Casemiro's 34, isn't he?
So 6 years different.
Bruno's 31. Bruno's 31. So, well, yeah, but he's not.
Yeah. But out of the regulars, yeah.
So you mentioned Pep Guardiola. How old was he when he came? He was still quite classed as a young manager, wasn't he? I know he'd been around the bush, but when he started at Barcelona, he was probably around the same age.
Yes, Jamie.
In his 30s, I believe, wasn't he, at Barcelona? When he started? 36, 37, 38?
Yeah, I think he was something along those lines, yeah.
He achieved big things across the board, internationally and within his club. Amorim's got nothing to back him up as a player. So when we talk about Roy Keane, we're putting a player in. Someone said he didn't do that good a managerial job. You should see what he done at that Sunderland team and what he had to work with and what he got promoted. He did one hell of a job and he's absolutely idolised by Sunderland fans for what he done. But that's not helping. So then you've got these big name players, mate, I've got more money in the bank for playing for one season than you have for managing Man United. And he should be brought in maybe 2-3 managers down the line. We throw a manager under the bus in Ten Hag.
Hold on one sec. Just Ted, sleep well, buddy. Thanks for joining us again, mate. And how's your injury? Let us know your injuries. We'll be around again on Thursday. Let us know how your thigh is, mate. Because keep going, buddy. Keep going. Mark's, by the way, Teddy. Mark's a youth coach. So if you want to reach out to Mark, any advice, he'll talk to you, mate, because he's a youth coach. So under 18s he coaches. All right, Teddy, lad. Good to see you, mate.
Basically the point I'm trying to make is you've got players coming through or pushing towards the manager's age. The manager doesn't have anything to back him. So it's like when it's not working, he's got no way of proving what he can do. Pep had a way of proving it. Other managers, Xabi Alonso had a way of proving it. Look what I've achieved. If he was 3 managers down the line, when we had Ten Hag, we were saying Ten Hag was the wrong manager. He wasn't good enough, but he's better than Amorim. So now we've got rid of a manager that was performing better than Amorim, and we want to go back to his formation. I don't really understand what a lot of people are talking about and what their expectations are from a team, because we've seen them play in 2 different formations. Nigh on the different front three is the only thing we're going to have in a 4-3-3. What was our problem under Ten Hag? Was it scoring goals or was it conceding goals?
It's midfield.
It was midfield. So it's the same fucking problem. So that's not on either manager. That's on Ineos.
Yeah.
I repeat this constantly every time I go live.
Gents, we've got one more super chat.
No, we had two more from Jonathan.
Jonathan, sorry, I apologise, Jonathan. That's my mistake. The first one is more of a statement, I think. I'm just hopeless/dead when I'm watching United. Well, I think you and everybody else, Jonathan, but thank you for spending that money to enlighten us on that one, buddy. And again, from Jonathan, Amorim should have been our 2nd or 3rd manager after ETH. Yeah, I think, I don't know, I think the board got scared. I think they felt that Amorim was going to be the next big thing and he was perhaps going to City or somewhere. And they decided it was now or never, from what we can gather. Yeah. When you do go to a manager and you say it's now or never, you do kind of shoot yourself in the foot with a longevity issue. But there's been some interesting Comments. The Roy Keane one, Nuruddin, has gone down rather well. You get Roy Keane and Jamie Wayne in particular. Loves that one. I think you've got Jamie hyped up, and rightly so. Yeah, look, the Amorim, it's going to split opinion. It really is. There are fans for him. There are fans against him. There are fans that don't see it's worth changing him. There are fans that want him changed. It's very, very difficult. Just remember, guys, this channel, we're here just for opinions. We're just four blokes just talking football. We love Manchester United, but we're here just to talk football, and we've all got an opinion, and we're glad it's different because Devilish Tactical Devils and the Devilish Tacticos, that's what we do on this channel. Nuruddin does exactly the same on his channel. Nuruddin has an opinions, but he accepts and embraces every other body's opinion. The Balls Up podcast, Mark, if it comes back, you do the same, don't you? We're all fans of the club, and we just, we've all got our opinions. We're not saying my opinion's right or wrong. Same with Jarvis, same with Nuruddin, same with Mark. It's just our opinions.
Well, I have a question for the chat. And
just before you do that, Mark, we've got another super chat, this time from Vicky.
I'll see it.
Yeah, just from Vicky. Vicky gets the glasses as well. Sorry, Jonathan, the glasses would have come out for you, pal. Vicky gets the glasses.
This is for all the super chats. Thank you, guys.
Oh, for God's sake! Play the proper super chat jingle.
Okay, let's play for all this. Thank you, everybody. Let's play the long one.
Breath, Jarvis. Deep breath. Ready? Go on.
I don't want to do it. I'll wake up the neighbors. Let's rather not.
Everybody, let's put a whip round together. We're going to get Jarvis a few different types of.
Now with all the super chats, maybe I can buy a new tutu.
Oh, hold your horses.
No, the Viking horn.
The Viking horn. Yes. Yeah. Vicky says it's the World Sacrifice Day of the Amorim. I think. I don't think anybody knows Vic. Unfortunately, my darling, I don't think anybody knows what's right or what's wrong with him. To be honest,
so that's a good interlude. Because my question to you and the chat, Savvy's one of the names linked with us.
What?
Savvy is linked to us. Savvy is 45.
Oh, and touching with a barge ball.
No, but there's a lot of people pushing him because who did he play with? Pep, Pep came through in the same team when they were younger. Luis Enrique at PSG. Savvy was sacked from Barcelona. He went to Saudi, came back to Barcelona, and now he's being linked with Manchester United. But people are giving him a little bit more thingy because of what I said. He played for Barcelona. He won stuff. He's a serial winner. He ain't done fuck all as a manager, but he's a serial winner.
And this is it's like having Zidane, isn't it? Everybody wants Zidane.
Zidane, who had the best team, I was going to say, at Real Madrid. What did he need to do with that team? Go on, lads, do the same as well.
He still won it, Respect for Zidane, yeah. And he was a serial winner.
The only thing that I would say about Xavi, that he went to Barcelona when there was Lever FC and the club were shambles because of the players they signed. So they were in chaos. He left, I think he was in Qatar, managing Qatar, to go there. To be fair to him, they didn't back him in a transfer. He bought a lot of youngsters through La Masia, and he actually won a league, which was difficult to do in managing that kind of big club. But do I think we need another hipster kind of coach from abroad? Even though I do think he has experienced a lot more than Amorim has experienced. But do I think he can succeed? No, because I've been put off by Eric Ten Hag and Amorim. I want somebody from the Premier League who's going to respect the Premier League. But some people like it because they always say he's a midfielder. He understood midfielders and he would play three in midfield. And that's what I want. Even Areola now, I'm second guessing myself, because I think if we're going to change Amorim, we need a coach that actually going to realize we're going to have to need to play 3 midfielders, because or else we're going to get spun. I really think.
Can I just ask, are you talking about 3 out-and-out midfielders, like 3-6?
No,
like
from the squad that we have right now. The squad that we have right now, you can't play 2 in there. There's no way that's going to work.
Flat 3 almost. No 10. Yeah,
you got to play 3 in there.
Yeah. No, look, I want, and I've always said this, and I've been really consistent. I want a straightforward 6 in there by himself, but 2 players floating around him to help him. Now, again, I know I usually was a lot in narrative when it comes to football, but I know you play 8. You're an attacking midfielder, an 8, but could defend. And you know as well as I do, you give your 6 space. You give your 6 space so he can deliver the ball into you. And then you're looking for Mark, who's making a run that you 2 have decided is the best outcome. And that's how you do it. But you could have another player in and around you to either sit just to the right of where you are, or just to the left of where you are, depending on which side you play, or just above you, if need be, to help and support Mark. So we can play with a 3 in there, but it doesn't need to be a tight 3. We need to let a 6 breathe. And that's what City have done so well. That's what Real Madrid do so well. That's what Barcelona do so well. Liverpool have done so well with Szoboszlai when he was playing in the middle. He happens to be playing right back at the minute, which is, it just shows you can be adaptable if you want. But so I agree with you in as much, but I want better. If we're going to do that, we want better fullbacks. We need stronger, better, quicker fullbacks who understand when to sit and when to go. And we need that.
So I'm just going to, because boxing.
Sorry, Mark, I didn't hear what you said. Mark, I didn't know what you said when I was talking about the 3, saying that we need to play 3. I don't know.
No. I literally, would you go 2 holding and like a 10, or would you go 2 6s and an 8, no 10? Because that's what I think United need at the moment.
Single 6.
No 10.
Yeah, but you could do it one way: 2 8s and a 6.
Yeah, 2 8s and a 6. 2 8s and a 6.
Sorry, Jarvis.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, 2 8s and a 6.
I just want to say, I think, who was it? Boxing just said there, Eddie Howe. That's my manager, by the way. Out of everyone who went Premier League, Eddie Howe.
I said it 8 years ago, and people laughed at me.
Yeah, I want him before 10 Hag.
But guys, did you see the poll in the chat? So 36% have voted for Glasner, and when it comes to Xavi, it's 27%, 20% for Iraola, and 70% for Conte. And I only put that in because of Boumbaye. So, but I agree when it comes to Eddie Howe. I think we need a British manager at the moment, someone who knows the rules.
I said Eddie Howe. I said Eddie Howe before. Me and Jarvis, we were on the same show. I was a bit later than you, Nuruddin. But I said before Eric Ten Hag came in, I said get Eddie Howe in as an interim, and then give him the job after that, because I think Eddie Howe would have been ideal for us at that time. I totally agree with Eddie Howe as a concept right now. There is something about him.
I should listen to him, because he's a demander. Do this job. You work hard. You sprint. Look at Newcastle.
But you've got to. Yeah, surely as a player. Oh, you would, Mark. Nuruddin would. Jarvis would. You sit in that dressing room and you listen. But you can go rogue in matches. I've said before, and I maintain it even under Fergie. And we keep getting a lot of stick in the chat. I've noticed everybody keeps talking about Fergie. That's yesteryear. Okay, I get it. But even under Fergie, you could go rogue because he understood football. You are allowed to.
Front 3 with Ronaldo, Tevez, and Rooney. Yeah, there was no structure to how they played.
Didn't need it. Didn't need a structure.
And we will always talk about Fergie, but if you don't want to talk about Fergie, we'll talk about Matt Busby. If you don't want to talk about Matt Busby, we'll talk about someone else. But because these longevity...
Tommy
Docherty.
What a great shout that is. Because Tommy Docherty came to United with a huge reputation. So did Dave Sexton, with a huge... Revered coaches, both of them. Revered. Sexton in particular was a revered coach, but couldn't turn it into management. Doherty had decent days, but he was never consistent. Ron Atkinson comes in, brilliant for West Brom. Brilliant for West Brom. If you know your history in football, just check back about West Brom and Ron Atkinson.
Trinity. Look up the Trinity.
He did indeed. He had the holy. Yes, I mean they weren't called that at the time. I'm not going to say what they were. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to say what they were called because, but you know they were brilliant. They were absolutely, and two of those ended up playing for us anyway, didn't they? We had Cunningham, we had Remy Moses, but we bought Robson. What he did was bring Brian Robson. Now I can tell you a very, very, very tiny story about that. I was playing at a club at the time, and there was an ex-player, an ex-West Brom player who was in our coaching staff, and he was telling me the story about how it transpired that Robbo went to Manchester United, and his name was Alan Webb, actually. You can check him out. He's a right back, played most of his career at Port Vale, and he was on the virtually breaking into the first team as an 18-year-old at West Brom at that time. Now, you know how good West Brom were at that time. Very, very. Viv Anderson.
I've been educated by my uncles who live literally 10 minutes away from the ground.
If I'm not mistaken, Viv Anderson may have been right back at the time. But anyway, he was displacing a quality right back. And he thought he was going to get the move to Manchester United. He thought he was going to follow Ron. But Ron said, without question, the deal was Robbo comes. The end. And he took him. And we all, you know, it's all history, isn't it, with Brian Robson, etc. But Ron Atkinson himself couldn't quite turn around what he did, couldn't replicate what he did at West Brom at Manchester United. And then what did we do? The club went to get the next best British manager, didn't they? Because Fergie had worked wonders with Aberdeen when nobody else has been
European Cup winner. Cup winner.
Yeah.
Last guy to beat Real Madrid, by the way, in the final.
He was indeed. That's exactly right. And so they went with him.
That's a surprise.
But we know 5 years of pain. But it wasn't pain at the time, was it? When
to be fair, Stu, out of 33 games or whatever, how long, Fergie took in 86, 50-something points.
Yes, that's true. That is true, yeah.
Amorim's took, 33 points in the same amount of games?
We would have been relegated under Amorim. And a calendar season, we get relegated, don't we, under Amorim? But it's
we're on relegation form right now.
We are. It's nice to go back and actually look at the older types of managers and who were revered at the time, but never got it over the line. And I think Amorim was a revered coach in Portugal. You'd have to say that, wouldn't we? Very revered coach in Portugal. But you can't. The Premier League's a different story, isn't it? So, but actually, no. In your point, and I must reiterate this because I think it's a brilliant point. We do forget it. Pep Guardiola. Don't ever underestimate the influence that Brian Kidd had on him. And he knew, and he kept Brian Kidd around the club, didn't he, for years?
Long time, yeah.
Even after he was removed, he stepped down as his number two. He was doing other roles. He knew the importance of Brian Kidd. And
didn't he bring in Kevin Keegan too after Brian Kidd?
No, not Kevin Keegan.
Not Kevin Keegan. No.
Who was it?
Look who Ollie brought in.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Clegg. What's the guy that coached?
Other guy, another Premier League player from the 80s he brought in. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I don't recall.
He brought in Mickey Phelan.
Hey, I was like, I'm not going to say it because everyone should know his name.
Mickey, or
You're about Fergie?
Man, Mickey.
No, Pep.
You're about Ollie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought. No, we were talking about Guardiola.
No, but I'm saying, even Ollie knew he had to do it.
Yeah, he bought in Phelan, didn't he? Yeah.
Mm.
Mickey Phelan. Now, what a surprise signing that was from Norwich, by the way.
Mm.
What a surprise signing he was. But anyway, my point being, going back to Guardiola, he understood that an 18-year-old player had played in a Champions League or a European Cup final. He understood who he played with, Nobby Stiles, Georgie Best. He understood the types of footballers and the types of influences this man had in his life. And that's why he was brilliant for United.
Well, he knew all the grounds. He knew what league. He could tell them about what league, who they had in the League Cup, who they got in the FA Cup, the small towns, the etiquette in this country. What everything. You do, you have a drink afterwards. Or there's a lot more to being a number 2, and the different ways he learned how to cope with different players. There's so many different things. Amorim, for me, was never the right guy. And I don't trust the Muppets who brought him here to make the right, because they have zero experience either. I explained it. And last Monday I went into it. They don't have any clue. None of them have a clue. It's Scooby effing Doo.
Scooby Doo. Actually, I was listening to an old song the other day. You just reminded me of this. Sorry, guys. I was listening to Scooby Snacks by Fun Loving Criminals. I forgot.
Fun Loving Criminals. What a band.
Yeah, I just absolutely fucking loved it. And I was just, you just reminded me when you said Scooby Doo. I think it's Scooby Snacks. Now I'm thinking of Fun Loving Criminals. Anyway, guys, we have 200 watching. I don't know what the split is, Jarvis. You can tell me. Have we got 100 likes yet?
I think we're on, let's see, is it 85? I need to update it. Give me 2 seconds.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
Commercial break. Okay, let's do it. I think we're on 86. So
come on, gentlemen.
Let's get to 100. If you haven't liked, it's time to like. Let's get to 100. Every like counts. It counts for about 10 more views. So
it does.
You can actually help out the channel.
We're not kind of out of YouTube jail yet, but we're clawing our way out. We can see a little bit of light at the end of our tunnel. We're crawling our way out. We're doing the great escape right now. We are. We're doing the great escape. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got about 20 minutes left, and we are going to do our famous Q&A session. So, Jarvis, play that tune. Jarvis getting a lot of love in the chat for that theme. It's a fantastic theme. I look young. So anytime I look young in life, it's always great. Jarvis used a brilliant filter on me to make me look a lot younger. Got loads of questions, guys.
Lots of filters.
Yes. All right. Crikey. Enough. Got loads of questions, guys. It's been a brilliant show. Let's just start.
I just want to say big up to Sean tuning in. Big up, Sean. Hope you're well.
Yes. Let's start with KY. I can't see any. Yes. Anyway, we won't add a third word to that. Would anyone agree that Ten Hag kept us in the league last season?
It's true. Okay. It's true.
That is a very good question.
His results at the beginning of the league kept us up.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying literally 5 minutes ago. We want to say Ten Hag was a problem. If it wasn't for Ten Hag, we would have been relegated.
And it's a really good question, that.
But saying that though, Matt, I was sick of his basketballification of football. Towards the cup final, he played compact football and we looked like day and night.
Yeah, I didn't understand quite. Yeah, I totally agree. The way we won our games against Liverpool, the way we beat City in the cup final, the way we won all our finals under him. Yet in the league, he didn't do it. And it was a little bit, why are you not doing this more often?
Well, look, I thought the way we won the cup final was brilliant. I mean, I can still see when we beat them at Old Trafford as well. I can still see Guardiola crying. I think he wrote to the FA and said Manchester United not allowed to do that.
He fucking lost his shit, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
I set up a way that to beat them, and they did something completely different. He couldn't believe it. But what did he do? He returned to type, didn't he, Ten Hag? That's what started to annoy us. So it's a brilliant question. KY. One of the best questions we've had in a long time. I hope you're still watching and you've seen the answer to that, because the lads, they enjoyed that one. Big Trev
with KY and not any foreplay, chocolates, dinner.
I know, shocking. I like jelly tots personally, but anyway. Question, Trev, big old Trev. So Amorim said consistently last season he needed more time on the training pitch. What's his excuse this season? Has he too much time on the training ground? What a contradiction. Jarvis, I will give you that one, pal.
Well, he made a couple of interesting comments. It was a couple of weeks ago. He said that he's not going to change, but he will in time. He just needed to go to the next stage. And maybe this is what he's working on now. You know, we've seen us losing, and now we're just losing and maybe winning one game and losing. So maybe this is the next stage. So, like, let's say next season we'll only lose 50% of the games. So things are improving. No, seriously, he must be working on something, you know. But I think a lot of these players are dumb as shit. They don't know anything about football, and I think that's his biggest problem. There could also be a language barrier. Maybe it's a communication, and also I think we all read comments. You know, Amorim he walks away in training. He keeps himself detached from the group. He's a loner in a way. So maybe that's a problem, you know. Maybe he needs to show them more love and be more engaged. You know, we all seen clip footage from Iraola's trainings. You know, there's no nonsense. He just talks to the players, tell them directly where to be, where to stand, what to do in every situation. He's hands-on in every situation during every session. Maybe we need Amorim more involved in going forward, because he has a week every week, so it should be implemented by now. We should see a better style, because I look for this. When I look at tactics, when I look at games, I look for patterns. But there's not many patterns. There's some patterns, but not that I trust the team to do it every time. So I don't know.
Great answer, Trev. We've got 1,000,001 questions, so we're going to go one question per panelist tonight, rather than all four panelists answer the question, because we've got loads to get through and we've got a short amount of time. Trev, I know you're still watching, pal, so I think that was a great answer by Jarvis. Let us know in the comments. So Vic, we've done your question, my darling. Nuruddin, one for you. Trev again. Should there be a salary cap across all leagues? It will probably never happen, but what's your thoughts?
Facts, 100%.
I agree as well.
100%. But the salary cap should be the amount of money the clubs are making from all the revenue, commercial revenue, and the money they get. It should be properly calculated, and it should be followed salary cap across the amount of football that's coming into money, because I just don't want owners siphoning money either. I don't want players siphoning money either. And then, money should be spent on a football pyramid. I think one of the greatest things about English football or British football is the pyramid scheme. I think having the lowest level, I think the FA Cup is the greatest competition in the history of the world.
Yeah,
I think the way that it starts in August, ends in May, and starts soon as it ends, is the most remarkable way of organizing it. We played against a team that actually played in it, and we beat them. So yeah, and it was just me and my boys in my neighborhood. We called Rusho, but we beat a university team that was really good. They played in the FA Cup, and we beat them. So yeah. I think the pyramid needs to be respected. I think grassroots football, I think young people in this country should have all just to access to play football whenever they would feel like it, and it should be all for free. Adults, youngsters, I think money should be put back into that. How many houses can you have? How many cars can you have? How many holidays can you go on to? What we're living out here.
Yeah, no, that's true. Superb. Right, Mark, for you from where are we? The Mustard. If Amorim's system is the future, why isn't the academy playing it?
That's a good question.
Amorim has no say over the academy. Simple as that. We have academy director. We have a technical director / sporting director. So I wanted to touch on this earlier. The players we are signing, we all say can play in a different formation. Well, the person making those signings maybe didn't want that manager and has got players lined up for a different formation for the next manager. I know it's a bit of a hot take, but there's a few things which don't add up, and the youth team is one of them. Diego Leon's been getting played in the 21s, and yet he's not being played as a wing back. Yet he's been bought for the first team. We all saw the statement. He will not go on loan, and he's not being played in a position where he can even step into the first team because we don't have a fucking solid left back. We have a left wing back, or we have a left-sided centre back, and he's been played out of position. So this goes back to what Nordin said, Jarvis has said, I've said, you've said. As a structure, we are screwed. The youth team plays the system of the first team if you want to bring players through. If you don't want to bring players through, play whatever system suits the players you got and run it as a separate club. You know?
Yeah.
Just to add quickly, Jason Wilcock was asked this by a journalist, and he said, we're not doing it. We're not going to do that. And he also low-key distances himself from Amorim, hiring for Amorim. And yeah. So if you want to know, that's the reason Jason Wilcox decided that Manchester United are not going to be able to play this.
And that's why Jason Wilcox wanted Fletcher put in charge of it, because...
Yeah. He seems to be doing quite well by all accounts, doesn't he? Great question, the Mustards. Mark, great answer. Thank you, Nuruddin, on that one as well. Quick one from I'm Titanium. Is Stu doing it? Well, I don't know. If we win, I may. But I've ordered 3 more. I've ordered a cerise pink one. So I might wait for that one to arrive. I am Titanium. What else have we got? Quick one for you, Nuruddin. What's your favourite food from your country of origin?
Oh, anything. Lamb rice.
Anything.
I like lamb and rice. I like some of the breakfasts, like the bread, the anjero. That's really nice. You can have it sour or sweet. But yeah, lamb and rice, of course, with a banana.
Lovely. Thank you for that, Nuruddin. Jarvis, question for you from Trev. Simple question. Does Amorim want to be sacked? I think you kind of did answer this. You covered it right at the beginning of the show. For me, yes, you cannot be that stupid with how he's handling everything. Jarvis did cover this, so I'll just let him briefly.
No. I don't think he wants to get the sack, but I think he has been, as I said, he's detached in training, but I think he also is detaching. He's taking a distance when it comes to his involvement in Man United. He's said in interviews, "I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not worried of getting the sack." He's trying to play casual, nonchalant, and I think he feels the pressure right now. So, but I don't think he wants to get sacked. But I think he's trying to convince himself that it's not that important to stay in the job. He won't get crushed if he get the sack. So I think the inevitable will happen, and I think he understands it.
He threatened to quit 3 times.
He has, yeah. Trev, I hope that's answered your question. Mark, one for you from I Am Titanium. Question for Mark: what's the evidence behind the theory that the Bermuda Triangle is a hotspot for paranormal or alien activity? Well, there you go.
About as much evidence that Man United can turn things around.
Well, I think that. Well, there you go.
Electric eels, anyone?
Yes, I hope that answers your question. I'm Titanium. Question from Vicky. Why is Harry Maguire the answer? His headers are great, but they are not the answer. I don't think Harry Maguire is the answer anymore, Vic. I've got to be honest with you, Hunt. I'm a huge supporter of Maguire. He's an old school centre half for me, but he's not in an old school team. And you can't play an old school centre. I couldn't play in Amorim's system. Let's put it that way. I'm too old school. I overcommit, and I know I overcommit. I'm a back four player. I prefer a back four. I'm comfortable in a back four. No, it's a great question. It really is. Yeah, I am. I am comfortable in a back four. I admit it.
But hang on, when we
with the midfield three in front of you,
his praises 2 weeks ago, he was superb. Everything was on his head. It was superb.
Yeah, but that's what she's saying. She's saying about his headers.
Yeah, because he wasn't left as exposed by the midfielders. By taking Casemiro out and you bringing Ugarte in and not having Manu and Ugarte fucking off up front, trying to win the ball.
He's a better back four centre half. He's great in a back four, but I mean,
but guys, to say it simple, when you play against a physical striker like Thiago,
he loves it.
Igor Thiago, yeah. You usually have one centre back that's aggressive and one who takes what do you call it?
And I need
cover.
You
need
to know his path.
His
path was Sheffield United back four, Hull back four, Leicester back four, United back whatever we feel like. He was never going to. So it's a great question, Vic. He suits a back four better. Whoa!
The biggest rip-off in the history of Manchester United, by the way, domestically, by an absolute mile.
Yeah.
There's a video on YouTube saying this guy is never been that guy. He's not the guy. He's not from Manchester United. And they went and bought 80 million. And they straight cash, by the way. It was wired. Nothing over a season. And Leicester built a training ground of that 80 million.
Yeah. But I mean, fair play to Maguire. He's last season he was pivotal in certain games and, so. Jamie Wayne says, Jarvis panel, keen till May. I think we'd all probably agree with that, wouldn't we? If we could.
Throwing punches. No, how is it say?
Then box office at the press conference. Why did he play? Why how come the team didn't perform? Because they're shit. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. I think we'd all agree with that one, Jamie. Right, what we got next? It's just me 43. We've kind of covered this one. Fella, a few times. Mark, I'll give you that one. Thoughts on Southgate? At least United would he would unite the team. No pun intended.
I think Southgate did an amazing job with England.
He did. He did.
And well done. Probably our best England team we had under Alf Ramsey, and he still won fuck all with them. So what would he do in the Premier League? Get relegated again? So because that's what he did last time he was in the Premier League with Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
So he's got no experience of managing in the Premier League at all. I think he did one season. Was it 1.5 seasons maybe at Middlesbrough? I wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. Like this whole unite. Yeah, you can be everyone's best mate when you only see him 1 week every 3 months. It's not people overhyped it. He had good players who wanted to play together. And did he really get the best out of them? Because we walked away with no trophies. Harry Kane still classed as one of the best strikers in the world. Got some of the best defenders in Europe. Couldn't win the Euros. Some of the best midfielders. Probably most of the best attacking tens in international football. Or within one team. What did he do with them? So with our underperforming players, you think, he might get them shaking hands and all being in one room. Well done, lads. Yeah, come on, cuddles. But don't worry about what they do on the pitch.
Not going to happen.
Do you know what, Southgate? He got people together, and that is a skill. That is a real skill. But I always go back to Teddy Sheringham. Now, it was well known through the United fans who really do follow it. Sheringham and Cole never spoke to each other, did they?
No, but
They absolutely hated each other to the thing. They wouldn't speak to each other at training or anything. Yet they put them on the pitch. They did a job. That's
all
together.
All over a bad passing training, that was, believe it or not. It's just me, 43.
It wasn't just that, Stu. It wasn't just that. It was also the way that when it was a substitution for England, Andy Cole was coming on for Teddy Sheringham, and he waited on a touchline, and he blanked him. Yeah, he blanked him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, no, that's true. It's just me, 43. Hope that answers your question. Trev, does Amorim deserve more time? We have gone through that today, pal. So we will skip that. But we do like this question. Very quick answer, each of you. If you were ever wanted to receive a present, what would it be? And don't say a mankini stew. Jarvis, if you wanted a present, what would it be?
New set of golf clubs. After watching Riders Cup this weekend, I'm hooked. I'm playing golf as much as possible. I went today. I played the tournament this weekend. I played 18 holes on Sunday. Played on Thursday, Friday. So it's all about golf now.
Yeah, Mark, present for you.
I always take a free holiday. Someone else is paying. That's a nice present.
Free holiday. Okay. Nuruddin?
The Glazers and Ineos to leave Manchester United. That would give me the best joy.
No, that's a great present. For me, very simple, Trev. I would like a Adidas Tango football, but an original one from 1978. That would be a present I would absolutely love. That'd be a great question, Trev. I love that.
Not a miracle.
Well, I just love one, especially one if Lukic or Kempes had their feet on it.
Is it the ones that were those footballs back in the day that were hand tied?
That would have been hand sewed. Yeah, absolutely brilliant football. Okay, another quick one from Trev. Any of the panel good at singing in the shower? Jarvis Astley is a shoe-in for me. Very simple one from me. No, I can't sing, period, let alone in the shower. Jarvis?
No, I can't sing. I like to sing, but I can't sing.
Yeah. Mark?
I know Nuruddin can sing one song.
I'll sing when no one's looking, put it that way.
Nuruddin?
Yeah, actually this morning I was singing a song from this lad. It's all over the socials. You might have seen it. I think he might be from South Asia. I don't know where he's based.
Yeah.
But, South Asian heritage. And he's got this really catchy song. And the song goes, we don't win anymore. We don't score goals. We don't win anymore. We don't win anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We don't, this is it. We don't score anymore. We don't score anymore like we used to. We don't, and then in the background in the video, so it's like a TikTok video. So at the bottom, it's got Tevez, Ronaldo, all those banging in goals. You know what I mean? And then he's singing. He's just in his apartment and he's looking out the window. We don't win anymore. We don't score anymore. And that's what I was singing in the shower this morning.
Well, if you can find it, stick it in the post comments so the guys couldn't hear it. That'd be brilliant. Just to let you know, who'd have thought that Nuruddin had got the voice of an angel?
There you go. There you go. I stayed up to the tune. A bit ropey to start.
No, but he got it. He got it.
No. Brilliant.
Ropey, but then he got it. Absolutely brilliant. We've got a few more questions to come, guys. We're going to speed through these. Jarvis, very quick one for you. Will Bodo Glimt smash Spurs tomorrow?
Yes, that will be an interesting one. Bodo Glimt, they only played one game since they drew against was it Sparta Prague, the first Champions League game 2-2, and they played against Rosenborg 1-1. So they have had 9 days of rest. So it will be the 10th day tomorrow. So they will be fully sharp and ready to go at home in northern Norway on the AstroTurf against Spurs. I hope the weather will be terrible. I hope it will be 2 degrees, raining, partly snowing, and all the Spurs players standing there and thinking, what the fuck am I doing here?
Bring your snow.
So I remember you saying this in the semi-final, and they smashed thingy. So
yeah. But you got to remember they were out of season. They hadn't played a game whole winter long. They only played Europa League. So eventually, it had to stop. But I'm super proud of Bodø/Glimt and how they did. And they still now in the Norwegian league are still going. They are running up until December. So hopefully they can do bits. And I'm rooting for Bodø/Glimt tomorrow. Yeah.
Excellent. Question. Nuruddin, We Deserve Better says, in fact, he was on a show with Jarvis last night. How do you help a man who cannot help himself? Do you agree Amorim's biggest problem is Amorim? It's a good question, that.
Yeah, Amorim's problem, it is Amorim. I don't really blame him. I blame the people who bought him here. I think he's showing his inexperience. He's showing that as a young coach, he's quite stubborn. And I actually don't think it's a system. I think it's his interpretation and implementation of the system, specifically not adapting to the Premier League. And I think playing Bruno, the most indisciplined positionally footballer I have ever watched in my life. I say that, clarity, the most indisciplined, positionally indisciplined footballer I have ever watched. Playing him in the midfield, you're asking for disaster.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant answer. Thank you. Great question. What's next? We've already got that one. Oh, yes. Mark, this one's for you from Jay. Jay says, how many managers do we all want then? We've seen it all from now. Experience like LGV. Jose.
One second, Stu. I just want to quickly show. This is the guy on Insta.
Okay. Yeah.
I quite like that. Brilliant. Yeah, put that link in if you can, everything, because that'd be brilliant. And young Ollie to Amorim. Bomb squad almost gone. Over $1 billion spent. That's sinking. It's not the manager.
That's more of a statement of facts than a question, isn't it? Really. Yeah. I don't know where to start to unpack that. It's we keep taking away one or two players every year from LVG through to Ollie, through to Amorim as it is now. There's so much that needs to change. But as I said earlier, the only way I see this change will be relegation, because I believe relegation is the way to get rid of the Glazers. I think that's got to be the be all and end all. We can all dream of. I don't even know. We don't want a Saudi buyout, but do you know what I mean? It's like we need to now get rid of Ineos and the Glazers. We thought we were getting something good, and now we've got something that seems to be 10 times worse. We're fighting at the bottom of the league. So is it the manager? Is it the players? No, it all comes back down to the club, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it does. Great question, Jay. Absolutely brilliant. Guys, we've got tons of questions to go through. Well, we've got about 10 minutes to go, 5 to 10 minutes. We're on 218, 220 minutes. We're 5 likes away from 100. Get us over the likes. We don't
4 likes, 3 likes now. So, guys, 3 more likes so we get to 100.
If we don't get to your question tonight, we'll save them till me and Jarvis are live again on Thursday, but we will answer your questions because there's absolutely tons still to go. Let's have a look. Vicky, although she's gone to bed, Vicky said, Jarvis, this is one for you actually, pal. Why is an English manager at the time of day and whom? What's the best English manager and what have they done? English manager.
It's got to be Eddie Howe, isn't it?
I think Eddie Howe is the one. I think
100% by an absolute mile, Eddie Howe.
Yeah, I think Eddie Howe. Yeah.
What I will say is, what have they done? If no one gives them a chance at a team that can win, has Eddie Howe done the best job of the next best layer? So you're not top 4 fighting for the title. He's pushed them there, and then they're selling off his best players. That's, to me, that is as good as winning a league for some managers.
For me, what he did, the masterclass performance that his team gave against Liverpool in that final was superb. He controlled that game from minute one in a big game, in a big final. He controlled it. He learned from the season before what happened when we beat them, and he controlled that game from minute one till the last minute of the game. Yeah, the last second.
I'd agree.
Eddie Howe, because he is, and it's like when people go, young people don't have experience for this job. Well, how are they going to get experience if you don't give them a chance?
Got to give somebody a chance. Totally agree. So, Vicky, I know you're asleep, darling, but we've gone with Eddie Howe. Jarvis, there's a question for you from Johnny K, and he says, who's your favourite golfer? After yesterday, for me, it's Shane Lowry.
Yeah, Shane Lowry is fantastic, but it's Rory McIlroy. I think he's incredible. But we have the Norwegian guy Hovland, and I think he's incredible. But unfortunately, he had a neck injury this weekend, so he only played the first day. But Rory McIlroy for me. Yeah. But
can I just
Shane
ask?
Lowry, yeah.
Can I just ask a quick cheeky golfing question?
Yeah.
Aren't there Canadians who play golf like professionally? Why is it just the US versus Europe? Why can't we just North America or Central America? Are you telling me no Mexican professionals?
No.
I don't know. No, I don't have a good answer. No.
No, then if USA could do it, it'd be USA versus the rest of the world.
Oh, okay.
And they would still lose. Yeah. It's just their arrogance. They have the best golf courses. I'll give them that. To look at, St Andrews is the best golf course, I think, in the world. But yeah,
I don't know enough about golf, unfortunately.
Me neither. That's why I asked. Me neither.
Yeah, I don't. G Wolf, good question, Johnny K. Well answered by Jarvis. G Wolf says, "I'm still backing Amorim for the time being. How many of you are backing Amorim?" Quick yes or no around the panel, Jarvis.
I'm backing Amorim because he's going to take me to the championship where we can play every 3 days.
Yes, I'm backing Amorim.
Take me to the championship where we can play every 3 days.
It's a tough one. I'm a little bit on the fence when it comes to Amorim. I don't think he will succeed. I don't think he's good enough. I think he has lost the dressing room. He has lost the plot. So I think it's time. It's time. But I will always back the manager because I believe in longevity. But on this one, it's a tough one. But I don't want to sit there and say Amorim out. I'm not that guy.
No, not me.
No,
Mark,
no.
yes or
but
no?
I wouldn't cry if he got a sack. I wouldn't cry myself to sleep.
I regret one sacking. That was Louis van Gaal.
Yeah, I'm going to sit on the fence here. I back the manager, but on one condition: he starts dropping underperforming players. I will never back a manager, but doesn't drop his underperforming players.
Yeah, fair enough.
You need to improve. That's 100%. Yeah.
Good question, G Wolf. I do like that. Let's see what else we've got. We've got a really good question from Trev, which we're going to probably look at one of our last questions. Question from Trev: Mark, will you shave off your beard before Christmas? No, that's a no, Trev. What else have we got? We're on 98 likes, I think, Jarvis. Is that right?
Oh. Yeah, let's hope we can get to 100, guys. So if you haven't liked the video, please do now. We are on 98 likes.
Yes. Jay also says Amorim is shouting to the players on the sideline and they are ignoring him, and he shakes his head. Same with Ten Hag. It's the same. Can't anyone else see that? You're right, Jay. He does.
I see it.
Yeah, he does shout at the players, and the players are doing what they've done for the last 10 years, doing what they want to do, and that's what's killing the club. And I said it right at the beginning of the stream, until players become accountable, nothing will change in football. I'm not just talking about Manchester United. I'm talking about football in general. Players need to be held accountable, and we have to do that. Manchester United should be the club to do it. And other clubs will follow suit. But that won't happen. So,
Stu, if you remember after the City game, we were asked the question, doing the questions like this. What one thing would we change to make Amorim succeed? What did I say? Stand there, shout at the players so the fans can see it, and then the fans will work out for the players not listening.
Yeah, and they will, because it just isn't happening, and it's fucking annoying. Great question, Jay. Thank you for that. Penultimate question for Jarvis. How did you do in yesterday's golf tournament, and did you get a hole in one?
Well, actually,
I
was really close on a par 3, and the ball just rolled, I would say, about 10 centimeters from the hole. So I was close, but
10 centimeters.
Yeah, 10 centimeters.
Yeah, 10 centimeters. Not bad. Not bad.
Well, I did okay. I came in third. I played on par, but I could have done better. Yeah. Because on hole, I think it was hole 16, I played a 7 on a par 3, so it ruined everything. So I had one hole to destroy my whole day. But I came in third, so I'm happy I played on par. That's
well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Final question, ladies and gentlemen, because we are approaching 2.5 hours. It's been a great show as always. Thank you to our guests, Mark and Nuruddin. The Devilish Tacticos, as always, have been on point. And the final question is, and Jarvis will probably grin at this because he knows my thoughts on this as well. Question: in your opinion, how has football changed over the years, either for the good or for the bad? I'll be very quick, Trev. I think football has been ruined. Modernism has killed the game that I love. It does. I don't have the passion that I used to have. I have more passion playing than I do watching, because I hate the new rules. I hate the girly footballers that take the pitches. There's no aggression in there. There's no real men that play football anymore, and I absolutely hate modernism. It doesn't need to have changed the way it does, but it's changed for the worse. And Trev, my old mate, I'm sorry to tell you, it ain't going to change anytime soon. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And I'm sorry to tell you that. Jarvis?
Yeah, well, we're old men, so obviously it's getting worse. So, yeah. Well, you said it all.
Yeah. Mark?
Yeah, money's destroyed the game, but it's not just within the top flight. I think money
it's getting worse.
Money has corrupted the FA and everyone. Before we go tonight, I would just like to say, we should have mentioned it before. Billy Vigar, if you don't aware, the Arsenal wore black armbands for him yesterday. Collided with a concrete wall.
Yeah.
This had been outlawed for years, but due to the FA ripping clubs off for doing their ground gradings but never going back, they were unaware that there was a concrete wall around the side of a pitch. Who does that? And that's 70s. This is where people take money and don't do their jobs. Yeah. And Billy was connected to my club, Stenning, and many other clubs. He was under my chairman in his youth team. So this is perfect question for me. Money is corrupting everyone within football. It is no longer a game. It is no longer our national sport. It is our national business.
Yeah. And Nuruddin, you get the final word.
Yeah, the billionaire class, the billionaires, we need to eat them on camera. So nobody wants to be a billionaire. It's 100% fact. Money's not just destroyed, it's destroyed society. Capitalism unchecked and deregulation is the reason why Manchester United were bought by the Glazers. I will never forgive Gordon Brown and Tony Blair. Never. Yeah. The deregulation of the fight, especially how people from different parts of the world can come and basically buy up assets, especially cultural institutional assets like Manchester United, would never have happened if you had proper financial regulation, and the money is gone. So destroyed it. Football was always popular. It's always been a popular sport. And even at the beginning, when football began in this country, the church got most football teams in this country have their roots in certain churches, whether it's Catholic or Protestant. And the tagline, the marketing branding at that time was healthy body, healthy mind.
That's correct. That is correct.
I knew that my sport degree, did good.
Come in handy. Gents, 210 watching you. It's been a brilliant show, 2.5 hours. Once again, Jarvis Corner delivers. I hope you've had a great time. We have Jarvis, over to you to close the show.
I just received a text message from a guy. Right now.
On Tinder?
No, not on Tinder. You know that my team that I used to play for. I retired. What's it now? Like 6 years ago, and they just sent me a message and asked if I was available to play a game on Wednesday because they don't have enough players.
So what you're saying, Jarvis, is
that's unbelievable.
They're scraping the barrel.
They're scraping the barrel.
The bottom of the barrel to see who's there, and you've got to say yes. You have.
Jarvis, you must be fit. You must be fit at least because you're logging around.
Yeah,
you're logging around a tennis. A golf thing. You're swinging.
Yeah.
So you must be. You're able to pass it. All you have to do is stand still.
You've got to play. You've got to play. It would be absolutely brilliant if you did. Come out of retirement.
Come on, one game.
Yeah. Okay, if I do, it has to be documented, and I will have someone to film me all the game, and I will show you the highlights.
Highlights. We don't document our games.
You just got to say you can't run a lot, so you need a couple of your youngsters to do the running for you. You just got to pass and make space and pass and make space and pass.
The ball will move faster than you ever will.
Just pass and move. Is it 5-a-side, 6-a-side, 7-a-side?
No, it's 11-a-side.
Oh, God.
11-a-side. Yeah, it's 11-a-side. It's level 5.
Dude, you might be doing the show on your own on Thursday.
I think I might be, yeah. Will you be in hospital Thursday night?
I will.
Jarvis joins us live from the hospital bed.
It has to be
brilliant. I think you should definitely, if you can play, old friend, I suggest, I really hope you do it, mate.
Oh, yeah, well, I haven't hardly touched the ball in like 6 years. So
it's all up here, mate.
You hardly touched the ball in the game.
It's all up here. It's all up here. You get the ball, it'll touch your foot before you know it. You've dropped your shoulder, you've run a yard, you pulled your hamstring, your groins are back to pop, but you'll carry on, mate. You won't bother. You won't care.
We will see.
What he hasn't told him is they're playing 3-5-2.
3-5-2. Actually, Thursday when Jarvis gets to his chair, he'll come in.
He's not surviving in a 2, no chance.
He'll come in the frame and hold on, guys, hold on, and he'll plunk down in his chair.
So, when was the last time, Jarvis? Just quickly, when was the last time you played for that team? When was the last time you were like, okay, hang up?
The last, under Corona, then I was finished.
2020.
But when you finished before that, were you also thinking?
Okay, but let's say the 3-4 years before that, I only played 7-a-side. Yeah, so I haven't played 11-a-side in more.
What age group is it? What age group is it?
Comes back to you.
Like regular men's football.
No, but is it vets? Is it over 45?
No. It's
open age.
It's open age. Yeah.
You got 18, 19-year-olds playing against him.
Yes, it's level 5 in Norway football.
Nice. Wow. You'll easily do that.
Stand still.
Have you got the right? Yeah, stand still. Have you got the right pegs?
Well, I need to go out in the garage and see if I can find my old pegs. And
we will
see. We will see.
Jarvis, you need to document the whole thing, the journey, finding the pegs. You need to film everything. You need to film it all.
Guys,
and I need some dramatic music in the background too.
If you want to know more how it went, tune in on Thursday. I will maybe show you some footage if I do it. But I haven't decided yet.
The game. We do a tactical breakdown on Jarvis playing.
He's taking the ball wrong.
He's just like Bruno. He's just like Bruno. He's just like Bruno.
Don't do like this, like Bruno. But okay. I will give you a challenge. If let's say 40 of you guys will comment in the non-live section after the show and say just do it. In the
50. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's say 50 then. If 50 of you guys say just do it, that's the only comment you need to leave after the show in the non-live section. I will do it. I promise. Scout honor.
You'll love it, mate. You'll absolutely love it. You'll get on there. You'll warm up. I'll tell you something, right? You'll do the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of warming up. You won't be happy with yourself. Your body will be. But once you get going into it, after about 5 minutes, you'll be perfectly fine, pal. Honestly.
It's like riding a bike.
Play through the stage. After you've had about 2 or 3, it goes away and you can keep running.
Just get your touches in. As soon as you get your first touches in, make sure your passing's crisp, on point. You'll be perfectly fine after that, pal.
Okay.
We're rooting for you, mate. We're rooting for you.
Comments, please. And I will document everything. Okay.
Come on, guys. All of you, please get in there. Everyone watching this back.
He's got to do the warm-up. He's got to go for a jog. Like tomorrow morning, go for a jog.
Yeah.
Like get the things going again. Get against the wall. You've got to document a little bit of training. Passing the ball against the wall, Jarvis. Left foot, right foot. Left foot, right foot. Get them up. Knees up.
There'll be a stick man during.
Get that little extra water intake. Start the creatine.
Oh, yeah.
No sugar, Jarvis.
No.
No sugar.
Jarvis, I'm going to tell you now, at your age, pre-workout. Salmon, some carrots.
Take some, take some jelly babies.
Jaffa cakes.
Yeah, eat about 3 jelly babies about half an hour before kickoff, another 15 minutes before kickoff, and then just before you walk out, another 3. That'll just give you a bit of a sugar boost.
I think I'll grab a pint right before.
And Jamie Vardy is your best friend.
Relax.
Yes.
Jamie Vardy is your best friend. Red Bull.
Get the cigar down there. Get the cigar. There you go.
Get the Red Bull.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the Red Bull.
Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy's addicted. He's literally.
I light the candle for you, Jarvis. It's hilarious. The comments section now is hilarious, guys.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be. I mean, look, I'm 55, Jarvis, still kicking about, still giving it the big one, still trying my very best, still getting hooked.
I wish I could play.
Yeah, because you didn't clatter him. He was faster than you. You didn't give him a dead leg. That's your fault.
Well, yes. Well, I did eventually. I sorted him out, yeah. I did sort him out eventually, but I was too late. I was devastated to be hooked. Devastated.
Right.
Oh, I have a feeling this will be the last episode. Big up, Trev. Guys, thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't remember, leave a comment. If you give me enough comments, I will do it. I will actually do it. I promise you. Trevor Wade, I am Titanium, OB, We Deserve Better, DJ Superfly Guy, Jules Solskjaer, Nash M87, who else? Let me say thank you to all the super chatters, Helge Scherveland and Sunsheet, and Grace Sheridan with all 5-pounders super chat, and Jonathan Liljenberg with 2 super chats, and with the bird with 1. Thank you for supporting the channel. It's been a brilliant show, guys. We will be back Thursday night, Stu and I. Hopefully, maybe we don't know yet, but maybe. But guys, remember, leave a comment in the non-live section. Say just do it or something. Play Jarvis, you can do it. YOLO, whatever, and I will understand. So thank you, guys. It's been a brilliant show. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Nuruddin. Thank you, Stu. We will be back on the next one, and we will see you then.
I'll be live tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow night with some of the panel. There's a video there, me having a go at Rooney and Neville. So if you're not seeing it, make sure you watch it, because to me it's too late. Them feigning it. They're all like, "Oh, the ownership should be on a protest. You should be organising protests. If you really care and love Manchester United." I don't buy it.
Nathan.
People
tune in to United Wheel Therapy tomorrow night. Mark, are you doing anything the next couple of days?
We're a bit on a hiatus at the moment, sorting out a few things. So I will be lurking around other people's channels or on here, and yeah, like
brilliant.
Praying for a win at the weekend.
Praying for Jarvis on Wednesday.
Well, yeah, there's that now as well.
Pray for Jarvis. That's it. That's what we're doing. We're doing a campaign.
Jarvis, actually, is there a link to the game? Do they record their games? Level 5?
I don't know.
Do they have
I don't know. Maybe.
They might. Send us a link anyway. I'm happy to pay.
So step 5.
I will get someone to film me when I'm on the page.
We don't record any of our games. I don't know why, but we're old, so
we don't know.
We don't know what a video camera is. There wasn't a video camera around when I was born.
No. We'll see. 103 likes. Thank you, Jay, for the update. Brilliant, guys. We will be back Thursday night. Thank you for the show. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one. Have a good night, everybody, and bye.